It's absolutely massive, that is for sure. Former Scotland striker Chris Wellamo is up at the CBS Arena ahead of this game, along with our match commentator Ian Danter. Obviously two former teammates in terms of Michael Carrick and Frank Lampard up against each other. Michael Carrick's been steadily doing good things at Borough, but they're just not taking that next step. How big an achievement would it be if they can sneak into the playoffs?
Well, two guys who England careers kind of dovetailed at the tail end of Frank Lampard's career, and Carrick there too. They know each other very well. It's a great atmosphere. Somebody's got to ultimately miss out. Both teams can't make it. It's down to who's the bravest. Fantastic atmosphere, Faye, and the teams are out now.
That's wonderful. In that case, I'm going to throw right to you, Ian Danter. The teams are out here at the Hawthorns as well. Luton Town applauding their fans over on the right-hand side. It's going to be a wild ride on this EFL Championship final day of the season. You can follow it all here on Talksport 2, but let's go to the CBS Arena for a big game in the playoff push. Coventry and Middlesbrough, and Ian Danter and Chris Wellamo.
Thank you, Faye, and a very good afternoon to you wherever and however you're listening to Talksport 2 on this pivotal final day of the regular EFL season. Leagues 1 and 2 get their campaigns completed later on at 3, but for the next couple of hours we need to find out the destiny of 13 championship clubs who are not yet entirely sure of either the title, the playoffs, or their very status at this level. 2 years ago, myself and my esteemed co-commentator Chris Wellamo were here at the CBS Arena for a clash between Coventry City and Middlesbrough in the semi-final first leg of the playoffs. We then brought you one of the best 0-0 draws I've ever seen that day. The Sky Blues ultimately triumphed 4 days later at the Riverside, only to lose the Wembley showpiece. 24 months on, and only one of these two sides can qualify for the postseason fun this time. Winner takes all for one side anyway, because Coventry are best placed. 6th place with their destiny very much in their own hands. A win surely guarantees them either 5th or 6th place, barring Millwall scoring a pot full of goals at Millwall. 9th place Middlesbrough arrive in the Midlands, having to win in order to leapfrog their hosts, whilst also hoping that Millwall and Blackburn fail to win at Burnley and Sheffield United respectively. That would earn the Teessiders a tilt at the playoffs. Team news: Coventry lost late on at Luton last Saturday, and they've made changes. One in goal, where Ben Wilson, who hasn't played in the Championship since October here against Sheffield Wednesday, is brought back in after injury. Bradley Collins made the error that led to Luton's winner last weekend. Van White and Thomas return from injury. Bidwell comes in at left back for the suspended De Silva. Those are the changes. Ben Wilson in goal, Milan Van White, Bobby Thomas, Liam Kitching, Jake Bidwell at the back for the Sky Blues. Matt Grimes and Ben Sheave holding in midfield. Tatsuhiro Sakamoto, Jack Rodoni and Haji Wright are the attacking midfielders behind Ellis Sims up front. For Middlesbrough, that disappointing 0-0 draw against Norwich has led to one change from Michael Carrick, and that sees Neto Borges return to the back. Looks like he's playing at left back today in a 4-2-3-1. Kelechi Iheanacho, the player that misses out. Mark Travers in goal, and Fernie Dykesteel, Dale Fry, Johnny Howson, Neto Borges in a back four. Hayden Hackney and Aidan Morris holding in midfield. Morgan Whittaker, Finn Azaz and Sam Illing Jr. look to be the three behind Tommy Conway in attack. Jeopardy everywhere you look, right through the Championship fixture list today. Talksport 2 will guide you through all the ups and downs, all the as it stands information, all the drama with every goal that goes in. We'll go where the story goes here with our top team of reporters at the key games this lunchtime. I'd say settle back and relax, but that's not right, is it? Perch yourself on the edge of your seat and do not move for the next 90 minutes or so. We will take care of the rest. Tension by the bucket load. Some clubs will get their wish, some will come up short. Let's find out the winners and losers together here on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Ready for the off at the CBS Arena. Coventry in their sky blue shirts and socks with white shorts. Middlesbrough in all red. And we're sat in the west stand here at the CBS Arena, closer to the north stand than the south. Middlesbrough fans packing that southwest corner away to our right. The referee Stuart Atwell blows his whistle. Coventry are kicking towards the south stand to our right, where those Middlesbrough fans are, taking up half that stand. And the ball's already out of play on the left-hand side for a throw-in to Coventry City. And remember, we'll take you around the grounds with goals as they go in from the other important matches, the key games in the Championship.
You were spot on, Ian, when you're saying about being brave, being composed in possession. Both these teams like to have the ball, so they have to go out, they have to compete, they have to contest for that. Middlesbrough like to slow it down, probably more often not play in the wrong areas. Can Coventry go and capitalise on that on the front foot?
Coventry in possession early on with Milan Van Ewijk, who had a slight problem last week that meant he couldn't play at Luton, but if he was anything like fit, he was always going to play. Ben Wilson with an early heavy touch outside his area, and Tommy Conway closed down the space very quickly. However, Wilson got it clear just in time. Hadji Wright just over the halfway line for Coventry, runs into Hayden Hackney, and then Dale Fry finds Dykesdale in the right back position for the visitors, and he neatly drops his shoulder to get away from 1 and 2, chips it up to the halfway line but straight onto the chest of Liam Kitching. 0-0.
He done everything right, Dykesdale there. You know, I think little dip of the shoulder puts Hadji Wright on the way, turns inside. That's when he's just got to fire it in. It's just that final pass into Finn's eyes, keep possession of the ball. It was like a blind pass, he just put his foot through it. Job's not done. Hadji Wright's floating a little bit central as well, trying to get as close to Ellis Simms as he possibly can.
Out on the left hand side it goes, and it's with Liam Kitching. Now Matt Grimes, one big signing that Coventry made in January. Bidwell in behind, left hand side of the area, across the face of goal, and Borges heads it up in the air to keep it away from Simms, who was closest to it, but actually was a good yard away. But great work down the left hand side from Coventry. 0-0.
Yeah, fantastic from Bidwell. The big touch, he's running in the box, he's getting his head up, he's looking inside to see what the options are. Ellis Simms does what he can to get as close to the front post. I think he's just got to hang fire a little bit. Can he then see the ball that Bidwell plays and then go and attack it? He's getting a free header if he does that.
2 minutes gone, 0-0 on Talksport 2. No goals anywhere else in the Championship on final day. Milan Van Ewijk is going to take this throw, level with the 18-yard line from this near side, hurls it in to the 6-yard line. Up go the heads, drops at the edge of the area. Grimes tries to head up in the air, but Hayden Hackney will bring it clear for Middlesbrough. Gets intercepted by Bobby Thomas, who's put it out of play for a throw on this near side, and the early Coventry impetus has subsided, and Middlesbrough have a throw at 0-0.
It's a great weapon, though, Van Ewijk, with the long throw. Defended very, very well there by Middlesbrough, and again, Hayden Hackney anticipating that second phase, picking up that second ball and driving forward, winning Middlesbrough the free kick. That's what Coventry do. They've got those players that want to go win those aerial duels, but keep the ball in that danger area. Just
a reminder, if you're not aware of the jeopardy, Coventry win and they're in the playoffs, barring the most miraculous scoreline from Millwall at Burnley. Middlesbrough have to win and hope that Millwall and Blackburn fail to win, and that, of course, by winning here, that would knock Coventry out the equation. Real jeopardy here. Tatsuhiro Sakamoto, right hand side for Coventry, floats it in field, but Dale Fry gets it half clear, but Finazaz pushes a bit slow on the uptake. However, it's brought away down the right hand side by Morgan Whittaker, who's yet to score for Middlesbrough after his move from Plymouth. Infield it goes to Hayden Hackney. Hackney ambitiously went for goal from 30 yards, but it was blocked at source by Sheaf. And then away come Coventry down the left-hand side, trying to feed Hadji Wright. Good sliding challenge from Bidwell, and he finds Jack Redoni. Lovely drop of the shoulder down the left-hand side, but he can't quite get away from Aidan Morris, the American central midfielder for Borough, and it's back with the Visitors, 0-0.
Ian, both teams out of possession, outstanding. Everyone's taking responsibility, getting as close. They're anticipating rather than reacting to it. They are fantastic there.
Sakamoto down the right-hand side for Coventry, getting towards the corner of the 18-yard box. On the overlap is Van Ewijk, sends the ball low into the deck. Simms turns it round the post from the near post, trying to wrap his right foot round it, but it's a goal kick to Middlesbrough. First big chance of the game, 0-0.
Yeah, quality down this right-hand side. Sakamoto and Van Ewijk. It's all about end product. It's an excellent ball, and the bounce took Howson out of it, but like you say, Ellis Simms is alive. Good connection, hits the target, it's in the back of the net because it was a great connection.
Hasn't scored since February in the Championship. Ellis Simms got a couple of goals that day against the Owls. Goal kick downfield, bounces onto the chest of Milan Van Ewijk. Sakamoto picks it up once again for Coventry and darts infield from this near touchline. 3 or 4 red shirts around him, and they do win it back, but only briefly, because Matt Grimes is there, as Chris Awolomo's been saying, to snaffle possession back into Coventry City possession. We'll go round the grounds in a minute and get to the early stages of our other featured games in the Championship today. Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0. 5 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Bidwell knocks the ball in field to Hadji Wright, but Hadji Wright runs into Whittaker, puts it out of play for a throw. What's the early stages like in that top versus bottom clash at Ashton Gate? Lawrence Mora.
Bristol City 0, Preston 0. The atmosphere is absolutely crackling here at Ashton Gate. No real chances, but both teams firing in the tackles. Bristol City 0, Preston 0.
0-0 here. Let's get to Turf Moor, where Burnley are bidding for the title. Chris Holt.
Yeah, that's right. Just 5 minutes gone, and it's Burnley 0, Millwall 0. The Lions all in white today, hunting a playoff place. Glorious East Lancashire sunshine, and it's Millwall who have started the brighter of the two sides. Ivanovic nearly getting in the under one, and Aziz with a shot blocked. It's Burnley 0, Millwall 0.
Sakamoto into the near post, and it's pushed away by the goalkeeper. Middlesbrough under pressure. One back, right hand side by Milan Van Ewijk. Lays it off to Matt Grimes. Radoni again, who set up that chance just as you came back to us. Finds Van Ewijk, tries to twist and turn and get to the dead ball line, but a poor touch means it's a Middlesbrough goal kick. 0-0.
Well, outstanding, great understanding between Radoni and Sakamoto. He's put the cross in, and it is a cross, but it takes a little deflection. I don't know if Johnny Howson. Travers has to react. It's an excellent reaction. Gets two hands on it. He's coming back on himself as well. Fantastic. Parries it away. Excellent save.
0-0 here. And there's a goal at the Hawthorns. Mickey Gray.
West Bromwich Albion 1, Luton Town 0. Tom Fellows with good play down the right hand side, chops the ball onto his left foot, and it creeps in underneath Kaminski to give the home side the lead. This could be a nightmare for the away side. West Bromwich Albion 1, Luton Town 0.
That drops Luton back into the bottom three by my reckoning, with Hull having a better goal difference. First goal then in the Championship's gone in just down the road from here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. We played 6.5 minutes on your home of the EFL on this pivotal day. Coventry sitting 0, Middlesbrough 0. Coventry, who have a throw just shy of the halfway line, got a pretty good record against Middlesbrough, scored an aggregate of 10-1 in their last 4 meetings with Middlesbrough. Not least that big win they got in the playoff semi-final up at the Riverside a couple of years ago, when it was Gus Harmer that scored the critical goal. Did get Coventry to Wembley, but no further. Luton Town did the rest, but Luton, as you've heard, are behind.
What's your thoughts on that, Ian? You know, so the reaction down at Fratton Park, the Hull City fans will definitely react to that. The players won't know. Well, that information has to come on the pitch, doesn't it?
We'll get down there right now and check in at Fratton Park with Talksport 2's Alex Crook.
Well, it's still Portsmouth 0, Hull 0, but a really positive start from the visitors. Great fingertip save from Ben Killip, the Pompey goalkeeper, to deny Louis Coyle, the captain, from the edge of the penalty area. As it stands, a point will keep Hull in the Championship. Pompey 0, Hull 0.
QPR lead at Sunderland in one of the less meaningful games in the Championship today. Sunderland already confirmed in the playoffs and QPR safe, but Nicholas Madsen has given QPR the lead at the Stadium of Light. Coventry just retrieved the ball from their own defensive third. Bidwell turns the ball back to Ben Wilson, back in the Coventry goal today and under pressure from Finn Azazi. Gets the ball down to the halfway line, and Stewart slips over on the halfway line. Another goal, West Brom, Mickey Gray. I thought we had a goal at West Brom, but Mickey Gray's not there. So it's 0-0, 8 minutes gone here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Ellis Sims turns away from his man, works it right to Sakamoto. Sakamoto faced up by Neto Borges. Drifts down the right-hand side of the area, checks onto his left. Oh, lovely dummy onto his right. Sakamoto pulls it across the edge of the box, and Sheaf digs it over the bar. Poor. Let's get that goal of the Hawthorns, Mickey Gray.
It's the equaliser. West Bromwich Albion 1, Luton Town 1. Milecic Ali works the ball really well down the left-hand side, chops it back onto his right foot and fires it low into the corner. Back on level terms. West Brom 1, Luton Town 1.
And Luton back out the bottom three with that equaliser. Would dump Hull back into the bottom three as things stand. Goal kick for Middlesbrough, sent downfield by Travers. Illing Jr. wants to try and keep it in play on this near side, but cannot. Chris Iwelumo, 0-0.
With Sakamoto, you know, I think there's been a few that have been overly critical, saying he's not brilliant, he's kind of off the boil. He's been outstanding right from the get-go. End product, that's what you want. The ball into Sheaf there was excellent. Across the floor, good pace on it. Sheaf has to do better.
0-0 here. Let's check in early stages from the one other feature game we got for you today at Bramall Lane. Alan Biggs.
United 0, Blackburn 0. It's been a fragmented start, but an early scare for Blackburn. Goalkeeper Todd having to save from Tom Cannon. Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0.
So you're up to date here on Talksport 2 on final day. The goal that we have is Sunderland 0, QPR 1, and West Brom 1, Luton 1, as you've just heard from Mickey. Those are the only goals we have, and that means, as things stand, left-hand side, Hadji right. for Coventry City. Into the area. Oh, it's touch for Sims. Oh, the driver's blocked by Housen. Comes out to Van Away. Now edge of the area. Sheaf tries another drive. It's blocked. Comes out to Sakamoto again. Right-hand corner of the box. Tries to dig it to the far post. Right tries to lash it towards goal from the tightest of angles, but gets it all wrong. It's over the bar. Let's get the early stages at Pride Park in the Championship. Jeff Peters.
No goals between Derby and Stoke. Packed stadium. Both sets of fans in good voice. Some nerves on the pitch. Derby's Matt Clark with a back pass to his keeper went horribly wrong and went out for a corner, which they eventually dealt with. Derby 0, Stoke 0.
So as it stands, Coventry, Bristol City in the playoffs, and Hull relegated with Plymouth and Cardiff. Goal kick to Middlesbrough. Chris Uwelimo.
It's a massive opportunity and excellent quality from Ellis Sims as well. Just drops back, controls the ball, opens up the goal. Johnny Howson, fantastic defending, throws himself, gets the block in, but quality from Coventry using it.
Azaz trying to play Conway in over the top into the area, right hand edge of it, and Bobby Thomas comes across, puts it behind. There was a moment where Conway was away and clear, but Thomas stuck to his guns, and it's a corner to Middlesbrough. 0-0.
Always ask the question, Conway, he's always playing in the shoulder, and every time that midfield of Middlesbrough, they don't have to look, they know it can be a blind pass in behind. It's a high defensive line from the Coventry City unit, so like you say, Conway, I think he has to take that on the full there. Don't allow it to bounce, try and take it. If it bounces, you take it on the half touch or the thigh, and you're going to get an opportunity away there.
Corner to Middlesbrough, northeast corner. 0-0 here. Goal elsewhere. We'll get to that in a minute. Illing Junior's corner, headed out to the edge of the area by Thomas, but it's retained by Hayden Hackney from Middlesbrough down the left-hand side of the box. His opposite number, Sakamoto, trying to hold him up. Hackney loses out. Sheaf will clear the ball for Coventry. Goal at Turf Moor. Chris Hull.
11 minutes gone. Burnley 0, Millwall 1, and it's a big moment in the playoff race. It's a wonderful ball from the right-hand side, and it's actually come in from George Honeymoon, who's back in the side today. And there's Ivanovic from about 6 yards out, and he gets a wonderful touch on it, and the Lions lead. Burnley 0, Millwall 1.
That goal knocks both Coventry and Middlesbrough out of the playoffs as things stand, because Millwall would go into 5th above Bristol City, who are currently drawing. Here comes Finn Azaz, and Whittaker with a left-footed drive. Didn't get any power on it whatsoever from the right-hand side of the box, and Ben Wilson can make a comfortable save. 0-0.
Yeah, Morgan Whittaker there, he had a lot of time to think about it. The ball was bobbling towards him, but with the quality he's got on either foot, his left foot there, just pick your spot, make sure the connection's right, and ask Wilson that question there. Massive opportunity there, Ian.
So West Brom 1, Luton 1. QPR 1-0 up at Sunderland. As you just heard from Chris, Millwall lead at Burnley, so Millwall in the top 6. Burnley will miss out on the title. Leeds, at this as it stands, don't need to win at Plymouth. And there's another goal at Turf Moor. Chris Hull.
That's right. Burnley 1, Millwall 1 now, and Burnley, the Clarets, have struck right back. What a game this is. The ball is fed into Josh Brownhill. He's about 12 yards out, right-footed, and he just curls the ball beautifully into the far corner past George Evans. It's Burnley 1, Millwall 1.
As you were then. So Coventry still in the playoffs.
How can Brownhill not have won Championship Player of the Season? Talk to me about that. The goals that he scored, the importance of his, unbelievable. But again, Millwall, they manage the game. I would say they usually manage the game very, very well. He'd be disappointed with that Alex Neil to concede straight away.
So 1-1 there, 1-1 at the Hawthorns, 1-0 to QPR Sunderland, but 0-0 crucially here at the Coventry Building Society Arena in our commentary game. As it stands, Coventry are back in the top 6 because Millwall have been pegged back. Here's Finn Azaz, right-hand corner of the area, lays it back into midfield. Borges into Illing Jr. on loan from Aston Villa. Nice turn to get away from Van Away, but Van Away shows good strength and speed and tenacity to win the ball back when Illing Jr. looked favourite to get the ball into the box, but then Van Away's ball goes straight out of play. Throw into Middlesbrough, 0-0.
Fantastic quality, Illing Jr. just rolling Van Eyck there. But you know he's going to be on you. You know he doesn't give up. He's going to press. Get that ball in, release it. You've created that space. You've got that yard. Make sure there's a cross going in the box for the likes of Conway to go and attack. But then Van Eyck, when you get the ball back, it's just about quality. Hit your big man. Make it sure it's into his chest, into his feet, but with quality from back to front.
14 minutes gone. Coventry City 0, Middlesbrough 0 on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. So Burnley have pegged Millwall back, but it's still not enough to get them the title. If Burnley win and Leeds can only draw at Plymouth and Burnley win the title, it's all up for grabs everywhere you look in the Championship today. And Millwall just outside the playoffs now. They've had 3 8th place finishes in the last 10 years, Millwall, and have never got into the playoffs, and they're going to finish 7th as things stand. Blackburn still 0-0 with Sheffield United. So there's two scorelines that work in Middlesbrough's favour, but they're 0-0 with Coventry, who are coming forward with Hadji Wright down the left-hand side of the area, drops his shoulder to the byline, hits it against Dijksteel, and then it came off right last of all. Goal kick to Middlesbrough away to our right with a quarter of an hour gone on your home of the EFL.
So unlucky there. Hadji Wright, great take as well. Got away from Dijksteel, but like you say, persistent defender, isn't it? Never lets his man go. Has got the block in, a little bit fortunate with a little ricochet coming off Hadji Wright. But like you say, the wide men for Coventry are definitely in the mood. Sakamoto and Hadji Wright seeing a lot of the ball, but it's end product.
You're listening to Coventry City 0, Middlesbrough 0 in the EFL Championship live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the app and get rewards points. 18 plus participating restaurants. Delivery fees and terms apply. Just see mcdonalds.com. Ian Dancer and Chris Awellamo with you at the Coventry Building Society Arena, where the Sky Blues have won the ball back just inside the Middlesbrough half, but tight to this near touchline. Just down to our right-hand side. It's played into the centre circle for Liam Kitching. Now Sheaf tries to thread the ball through the middle for Hadji Wright. Dijksteel got a foot in, kept it away from Sims, and Neto Borges works the ball back into the middle of his own half for Hayden Hackney. Good 1-2 touch football for Middlesbrough, and they get out to the halfway line, and Finn Azaz clips it to the right wing for Morgan Whittaker. Faced up by Jake Bidwell, so he elects to go back into his own half for his centre-halves.
Ben Sheaf had so much time in the ball there, and Hadji Wright had actually came a little bit more central. I think if he stays a little bit more expansive there, he makes it very difficult for Dale Fry, the centre-back, to cut that pass out from Sheaf.
Over on Talksport, Aston Villa lead Fulham by a goal to nil. Yuri Tielemans, that's the Talksport commentary going on right now from the Premier League. And we'll have Leicester City Southampton at 3 o'clock here for you on Talksport 2 after we're done here. Here come Coventry, 0-0, but the Sky Blues coming forward, and Sakamoto is hauled down by Hayden Hackney. A pull on the shoulder of the Japanese midfielder, and it's going to be the first yellow card of the game to go to the Middlesbrough number 7 for fouling the Coventry number 7. Goal at Fratton Park, Alex Crook.
And 2,100 Hull fans are bouncing with joy. It's Portsmouth 0, Hull City 1. Corner from the left-hand side, flicked on inside the 6-yard box, and there was Matt Crooks, who simply could not miss from point-blank range. A victory will keep the Tigers in the Championship. It's Portsmouth 0, Hull City 1.
Yeah, that'll take Hull right up the table as things stand, onto 51 points. And it will drop Luton back into the last relegation spot as things stand. We'll get back to the Hawthorns because the Luton fans will know that in the Smethwick end. We'll check in with Mickey Gray in a moment, but first there's a free kick to Coventry City to send into the Middlesbrough box at 0-0. 17 and a half gone. It's Ben Sheaf standing over it. One-man wall of Conway at the right-hand corner of the box facing him up. Middlesbrough holding in their line of defence on the 18-yard line. Coventry trying not to drop into offside position. Sheaf looks up, raises his left arm, the Coventry skipper. Oh, and he hits the wall with the free kick straight at Tommy Conway. Bounces at the edge of the area, and it will be deflected behind and a goal kick. Let's get to the Hawthorns and see what the reaction is for that Hull City goal. Mickey Gray.
Yeah, it's gone very silent over my right shoulder, Dan. I have to say, 80 minutes gone. West Brom 1, Luton Town 1. They've been in the bottom 3 twice already. This occasion, this afternoon, Luton Town, they know what they need to do. They're playing very well, but it is tense. West Bromwich Albion 1, Luton Town 1.
0-0 here at the CBS Arena. Borough have to win and hope that Millwall and Blackburn fail to win. And that's happening at the moment, but Middlesbrough are still goalless, and Coventry just know, get the job done and win here, and the playoffs is theirs. Ball's in the arms of Ben Wilson, who, as we mentioned, was the big call for Frank Lampard today, coming in for Bradley Collins after one too many errors from the Coventry goalkeeper. Oliver Dovin, the Swedish goalkeeper, has been out injured, the first choice for some time. Here's Jake Bidwell scurrying down the left-hand side for the Sky Blues. Releases right in the left wing position. Plays it back into the box. Just evades Bidwell. But Ellis Sims holds the ball up with his back to goal. But he ran into too much traffic. And then Middlesbrough try and bring it clear. Whittaker is fouled and they get a free kick, 0-0.
No, Ellis Sims has to do better. He has to do better. Fantastic play, Bidwell, and Hadji Wright down the left-hand side. Little cut back. Now Bidwell has the intelligence just to let it run through the legs. Ellis Sims keeps control of it. It has to be a better set for Sheaf there, so he can come on and get the shot away. It's a sloppy pass straight into Aidan Morris. Has to be better.
Latest scores: Bristol City 0, Preston 0, Burnley 1, Millwall 1, Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0 here, Derby 0, Stoke 0, Norwich 2, Cardiff 0. Callum Chambers has been sent off for Cardiff. 2 quick goals for Marcelinho Nunez and a red card for Cardiff. It's going bad to worse for their season. Plymouth 0, Leeds 0, Portsmouth 0, Hull 1, as you just heard from Alex. Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0, Sunderland 0, QPR 1, Swansea 0, Oxford 0, Watford 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0. And West Brom 1, Luton 1. And Plymouth have just taken the lead against Leeds by a goal to nil. So that hands the initiative to Burnley. We'll check it at Turf Moor in a minute because Plymouth are in front at home park. In fact, let's get there now. Up to Lancashire. Chris Holt.
20 minutes on the clock. It's still Burnley 1, Millwall 1, and everybody's in touch with their radios and their phones and keeping an eye on everything that's going on down at home park, and they'll be aware of that result now. What a fantastic start we've had to this game. Ivanovic with that lovely chance inside the 6-yard box, but Brownhill, what a season he's had. A great right foot finish. It's Burnley 1, Millwall 1.
Hadji Wright into the area, left-hand side for Coventry at 0-0. Goes past his man, tries to pull it across the face of goal, takes a deflection. First corner of the game for Coventry City at the South Stand end. 0-0.
Yeah, quality. Hadji Wright receiving the ball in the box. He's so direct, manipulating the ball, just trying to get that yard to get the shot away there. Dijksteel all the way, following him, pressuring him, forcing it out. Done his job defensively. Corner kick Coventry.
So Burnley, by virtue of the fact that Leeds are losing, will win the title by a point as things stand. 98 points to 97. Coventry still in the playoffs. Middlesbrough out of the playoffs. It's a corner kick to Coventry, left-hand side to be taken. On that left-hand side, left-footed outswinger, clutch of players inside the 6-yard area. Stuart Atwell standing at the edge of the box looking on the referee. In it comes from the left-hand side to the far post, goes beyond everybody in either red or sky blue, and just drifts out of play for a Middlesbrough throw on this near side. 0-0.
Yeah, well, you're looking at that. I thought it was an excellent ball to the back post area. Now it's Bobby Thomas. There is hands on the back, and he's went to ground a little bit too easily for me. If he stays on his feet there, he can actually go and attack the ball and possibly get an opportunity to goal at that back post area.
So 0-0 here. Let's check in at Bramall Lane for Sheffield United Blackburn with Alan Biggs.
Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0, but Sheffield United have just had a big chance. Gus Harmer, point blank from a right wing cross, has scooped it over the bar. The Blackburn fans massed behind it, breathe a sigh of relief. Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0.
Sakamoto, right hand side for Coventry. 22 minutes played here at the CBS Arena, still awaiting the breakthrough. A draw, as things stand, will suit Coventry. It will not suit Middlesbrough. Here's Bobby Thomas, back from a slight injury to get back into the starting lineup today. Hits a long ball downfield straight, looking for Hadji Wright to come across from the left-hand side, but Mark Travers, the Middlesbrough keeper, quickly onto it. But it's broken for Jack Rodoni, right wing. Clever ball in field for Grimes, who tries to give it back to Rodoni. Good quick feet from the former Huddersfield man. 3 Middlesbrough players around him, and he still found Sakamoto back down the touchline, and then Van Ewijk tucks it back to Thomas on halfway.
Yeah, without the ball, they're just reacting properly. Grimes gave the ball away, unlike him, but Rodoni's on it, making sure he's winning the ball back, and then in that transition, keeping the ball very, very well.
Sakamoto again looks for Van Ewijk on the underlap, gets to the dead ball line and wins a corner off Illing Jr. Coventry's starting to apply pressure, but it stays goalless here.
Yeah, down this right-hand side as well, a lot of energy. Illing Jr.'s obviously doing his defensive duties. He's having to follow Van Ewijk all the way, cut that cross out there, so fantastic defending in the end, but getting a lot of joy down this right-hand side, Coventry.
So Rodoni with another corner, this time in front of the Middlesbrough fans, away to our right in the southwest corner. So it'll be a left-footed in-swinger. Once again, the 6-yard box densely populated by both Coventry and Middlesbrough shirts. And that's the direction the ball's going in from Rodoni as he steps up to the ball, clips it into the near post, headed up in the air by the first defender, Conway, brings it down and will try and volley it clear. Rodoni almost stole it off him down at the dead ball line. Conway keeping possession, works it back into the box. Middlesbrough only half clear it. Sakamoto picks up the loose ball in the middle of the Middlesbrough half. Back it goes to halfway, and Van Ewijk to start again for Coventry, 0-0.
This is when you bring everyone back, and to be fair, Conway had to make contact with that Rodoni corner there because it's going into the near post area, but they don't have an outlet. So that's when Tommy Conway has to then break his neck to get up and try and kind of showcase himself for that outball.
0-0 here on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Let's get you an update from Ashton Gate in the other championship game. Lawrence Mora.
Bristol City 0, Preston 0, 25 gone. Naki Wells with the closest effort on goal so far. A low skidding drive from 25 yards. The spin that took the ball just narrowly wide of Cornell's goal. Though moments ago, symptomatic of the game really, Preston's Ryan Ledson hammering into a full-blooded tackle, took out Williams and Hirakawa, got himself a yellow card. A little bit more blood and thunder at the moment than skill and pizzazz. It's Bristol City 0, Preston 0.
And let's quickly check it at Pride Park. Park as well on Talksport 2 with Jeff Peters.
No goals between Derby and Stoke. One half chance for Scythe for the Rams with a header way off target. Hull winning means a bit more jeopardy here, but as it stands, both sides would be safe. Derby 0, Stoke 0.
That's right, Luton in the bottom 3 because of Hull taking the lead at Fratton Park. It means that Stoke, Derby and Preston all move down 1, as well as Luton. So Preston, who as you just heard from Lawrence are drawing at Bristol City, are doing enough. Ditto Derby and Stoke could be a bit of a non-aggression pact that turns into there between Stoke and Derby if the afternoon continues. Ball played forward by Coventry down the left-hand side of the box looking for Sims, but Dale Fry gets it clear for the Borough. Picked up though by Sheaf in midfield for Coventry. Plays a 1-2 with Redoni, rolls it into Sims. It was trying to lay it off at the edge of the area, but the touch was not good enough and Middlesbrough won it back and then won a free kick, 0-0.
It's just when they're in good possession like that, it's an excellent ball into him, he has to take 2 there. He's trying to do it first time. Hadjiright's already trying to get past them there, and Rodoni's floating around. So it's just about making sure you secure the ball, and then you can link up. Then you can bring players into play there. A few times it's just that decision making from the big man has to be better. He has to lift the level.
Free kick to Middlesbrough. I tell you what, let's check back in at the Hawthorns here on Talksport 2 with Mickey Gray.
Yeah, we've got 26 on the clock. West Bromwich Albion 1, Luton Town 1, and it's West Bromwich Albion who are doing all the running. They look a real threat when they go forward. We've not had any chances that you were last with me, Dan, but I'm just looking at Luton. Carlton Morris is holding an ankle. Took some tablets a moment ago. He's really struggling at the moment. They need to get something going, the away side. They know their fate is in their own hands at the moment. West Bromwich Albion 1, Luton Town 1.
Swansea have just taken the lead against Oxford. That doesn't have anything riding on it, but Alan Sheehan's the new permanent manager. Ji Sung Yong has got the goal. A goal at Ashton Gate. Breakthrough. Lawrence Moore.
Bristol City 0, Preston 1. Emil Rees is the man who's got it. A corner swung in from the right hand side, and he was just the strongest in the 6-yard box. Held off his markers and headed in from close range. Preston, they've not done much attacking, but what a huge goal that could be for them. Bristol City 0, Preston 1.
That gets them well clear of trouble, but move them on to 52 points, Preston North End, and would put Luton under further pressure and pressurise Derby and Stoke with that game at Pride Park, because that would take Preston above both the Potters and the Rams. Great result for Preston if it stays like that. They've lost their last 4 games and looked in desperate trouble, but they lead at Ashton Gate. And Bristol City, conversely, for going behind in that game, that could affect their playoff credentials. They're down to 67 points. They're hanging on, but now Coventry have moved up to 5th. Oh boy, I'm going to need a rest after this. 0-0 here. No breakthrough between Coventry City and Middlesbrough yet. And don't forget, when we get to 3 o'clock on Talksport, Adrian Durham will take you around the grounds. There's all the permutations for League One. There's two clubs going for one playoff spot, Reading and Leyton Orient, and then all the drama at the top of League Two with Doncaster and Port Vale already up. To Bradford and Walsall go up with them automatically, and playoff spots to sort out as well. All that unfolds from 3. Middlesbrough at 0-0, coming forward with Tommy Conway, faced up by Bobby Thomas, gets into the edge of the area. Conway making room for a shot, blocked by Thomas, who stayed with his man. Comes out to Aidan Morris, approaching the edge of the area for Middlesbrough. Flicks it down the right-hand side of the box. Azaz wants to put it into the area, doesn't though. Gives it back to Morris at the right-hand corner. He plays it back into space. Neto Borges, wayward left-footed strike, well over the crossbar. Goal kick to Coventry City, 0-0 it stays on your home of the EFL Talksport 2.
Yeah, well, it's very much Coventry City controlling this game, but just shows you the threat of Middlesbrough there. Tommy Conway asking that question behind, excellent ball. He's onto it, does everything right to just get that yard to get the shot away. Bobby Thomas, fantastic defensive challenge, and they need to do it more, but they're picking up second balls. They kept that pressure on, but Borges there, there's no reason to take the shot on. It would be an absolute world if it goes in. Keep the pressure on, keep Coventry on that back foot. That defensive line of Middlesbrough needs to step up every opportunity. Just makes it easier for the midfield unit, attacking unit, to go and apply that pressure.
28 minutes gone on Talksport 2. 0-0 between Coventry and Middlesbrough. Another goal at the Hawthorns. Mickey Gray.
Well, it's getting worse for Luton Town. It's West Bromwich Albion 2, Luton Town 1, and Daryl DK with his first goal of the season. Really well worked down the left-hand side from Callan Stiles. Great ball into the area. Daryl DK gets away from his marker and nods it into the bottom corner. West Bromwich Albion 2, Luton Town 1.
So Luton in the bottom 3 on 50 points, but Derby are on 50 points. So if Stoke get a goal against Derby, that puts the Rams on 49 points and would keep Luton up. Let's check back in at Pride Park for that Midlands derby. Jeff Peters.
Derby 0, Stoke 0. Derby just had a couple of corners. They've just whipped the ball into the penalty area. It's been headed down just wide. Big moment. Closest anyone's come. It's Derby 0, Stoke 0.
Let's check in at Fratton Park as well with Talksport 2's Alex Crook.
And it's still Portsmouth 0, Hull 1. Matt Crooks with a goal from point-blank range on 18 minutes. But Pompey have grown into the game since conceding. And Sean McLaughlin has just made a brilliant last-ditch tackle to stop Callum Lang getting a shot away on goal. We are staying up, sing the visitors. Portsmouth 0, Hull 1.
Redoni wins a corner for Coventry City down the right-hand side. Let's quickly get to Bramall Lane and get a quick update from Alan Biggs.
Yeah, Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0. The Blackburn fans erupted at the end to my left when that news came through that Bristol City's trailing, and their team have a free kick here just outside the Sheffield United area. Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0.
Redoni's corner on the right-hand side for Coventry at 0-0 on the half hour. In front of those Middlesbrough fans in the south stand. A left-footed in-swinger once again to come in from Jack Redoni. In it comes to the near post. Again, it hits the first defender, Tommy Conway. Heads it clear to Grimes, who nods it back down to Redoni on this near side, the Coventry right. He's trying to jockey Tommy Conway for position. Works it back to Matt Grimes. Plenty waiting for a cross. In it goes from Grimes. Flicked on by Bidwell. Might drop for right, but stabbed away by the Middlesbrough back line. And now they're going to try and counter. Azaz has got Whittaker ahead of him, and he looks to try and find him, but Ben Wilson comes out to the edge of his area and gets a round of applause from Chris Awellamo for his starting position, 0-0.
Yeah, you can see him edging. You know, he's anticipating that little ball from Finn's eyes to Whittaker there, and does what every a good goalkeeper should do. You know, they come up, they sweep, albeit I'll say, can he keep possession of the ball? Can he find the likes of a Redoni or a Sheaf with the ball round, just giving it straight back to Middlesbrough there? But it just shows you Middlesbrough sitting in, allowing Coventry to have a lot more of the ball, but they're showing that quality counter-attack football.
Chris Awellamo and Ian Danter with you on Talksport 2. And let's get back to the Hawthorns. Another goal there, Mickey Gray.
Oh dear. West Bromwich Albion 3, Luton Town 1, and it's Tom Fellows with his second goal. Really good play from West Brom. They play it over to the right-hand side, and Fellows this time with his right foot just waits for Kaminsky to come off his line and dinks it over the top into the back of the net. Wow, this is not going well for Luton Town. West Bromwich Albion 3, Luton Town 1.
That's very true. Even if Derby were to concede at Stoke, their goal difference is way better than Luton Town. So Luton have got to find a route back into this game. Otherwise, that's the one relegation spot done and dusted very early. I remind you what's going on elsewhere. Burnley are drawing with Millwall, back there in a moment, and Leeds are losing at Plymouth. So that's handing the title to Burnley. 98 points, the Clarets, 97 points, the Whites. In the playoff positions, Coventry will be in 5th place. Bristol City, even though they're losing, would qualify in 6th spot. Millwall are only behind on goal difference. If Millwall get a goal at Burnley, then everything changes, both for playoffs and the title. So let's check in there with Talksport 2's Chris Hull.
32 minutes gone, Dan's. Millwall 1, Burnley 1, and the Clarets are now in the ascendancy here at Turf Moor in East Lancashire. The Clarets and Brownhill have been absolutely magnificent. Brownhill's just unleashed another one after his equaliser from 30 yards, tipped over by Millwall's Evans, and Jayden Anthony has had a wonderful volley from Brownhill's cross, which was cleared off the Millwall line. At the moment, as you say, Dan, the Clarets heading for the title, and Millwall just still outside the playoffs. Burnley 1, Millwall 1.
But a Millwall goal changes everything, and would put Bristol City right up against it. And they're losing at home to Preston, as you heard from Lawrence. We'll chip back in at Ashton Gate in a little while. 12 minutes to half-time here on Talksport 2 at this CBS Arena. Coventry coming forward with Milan van Eyck. Lays it off to Sakamoto. This is the midway point of the Middlesbrough half. Tight to this near right-hand touchline as we sit in the west stand looking on. Coventry in their sky blue kit attacking the south stand in this first period. Redoni finds Van Eyck on this right wing. Redoni going on the overlap, but Van Eyck puts the ball into the box anyway. Decent cross, but away from right. Drops left-hand side of the area for Bidwell. Tries to tee up Sheaf. Sheaf gives it back to Bidwell. First time crossed into the near post. Headed away by Dale Fry, but not convincingly. Middlesbrough trying to bring it further clear. Oh, lovely skill from Hayden Hackney. And he drives the ball into Whittaker. And suddenly he's on his bike over the halfway line. And Conway moving up to his left-hand side. Whittaker holding on to it. Gets to about 30 yards out. Slides in Conway in the area. Left-hand corner of the box, wants an option, lays it off to the edge of the area. Illing Jr. with a left-footed shot just wide of the post, so close for Middlesbrough to take the lead. That's as close as they've come, but it stays goalless with 10 to half-time on Talksport 2.
Fantastic quality from back to front. Whittaker driving. I thought the opportunity was gone. He hung on to the ball a little bit too much. Gave it to Conway. Conway slowed it right down. To be fair, the weight of pass into Elling Jr. was outstanding. You know, he's came on. He has Wilson beaten there. It's if he hits the targets in that top right-hand corner. Fantastic effort from distance.
Norwich 3-0 upon Cardiff. Bortha Sainz, one of the top scorers in the division, gets the third. Remember, Cardiff down to 10 men. Plymouth still 1-0 up at Leeds, so Burnley are being handed the title. In the Premier League, it's still 1-0 to Aston Villa against Fulham in the Talksport commentary. And no further goals to tell you about in the Championship. But let's jet back in at Ashton Gate, where there's a lot of jeopardy going on there. Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, Bristol City 0, Preston 1. The Preston fans are having an absolute ball in the Atio stand, bouncing around. We are staying up. There was a big celebration as the Luton goal was fed into that away end. For Bristol City, though, it has gone mighty quiet at Ashton Gate. Very, very tense among the fans, and you can see that emanating to the players. They're snatching at opportunities at the moment. And Preston looking good value for their lead. It's Bristol City 0, Preston 1.
Yeah, very, very tense, I should imagine. A goal for Millwall changes everything in the playoff picture and would affect Bristol City more than it would Coventry. Middlesbrough just got to get a goal and try and put a cat amongst the pigeons that way. And they're in possession, Middlesbrough, at the edge of their own penalty area. Howson tries to play it across to Del Fry, but puts it straight out of play.
No, they are showing that they're showing a discipline. You know, they're sitting back, they're conceding possession, but they're showing that quality and pace to get up the pitch in numbers as well. You know, I think Michael Carrick, I think he's got it spot on. Albeit, I think they'd like to win a little bit more of those second balls. We talk about doing the basics well, you know, and then trying to have a little bit more control in the ball. You know, I know they're seeing and trying to play out from the back, but in that transition, they've not been good enough today.
36 minutes played on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL on the final day in the Championship, ahead of the playoffs, which will be like every single playoff game from Thursday night in the Championship, and then League 1 and League 2 through to the middle of next week. Every playoff game will be live on the Talksport network. You won't miss a thing. Van Avite with a long throw into the Middlesbrough box, looking for Thomas at the near post. Does it go behind for a corner? No, it's kept alive by Middlesbrough. They've skied it in their own penalty area, headed out as far as Sheaf, guides it back for Bidwell, centre of the Middlesbrough half, just tosses it into the box. Kitchen goes up at the far post, but a good claim by Travers. Let's check in at Turf Moor in the Championship. Chris Hull.
36 minutes gone, Burnley 1, Millwall 1, but we've had an extraordinary moment here where Millwall should have regained their lead. The ball comes in from the right-hand side, and to be fair, the cross is quite quick, but Josh Coburn's there. He's right on the ball, 2 yards out, and he fluffs his lines, and it hits the post and goes wide. It's a great chance for the Lions. Burnley 1, Millwall 1.
Saw Josh Coburn score a dramatic League Cup winner for Middlesbrough, who we're watching here today against Tottenham Hotspur just a couple of years ago. Middlesbrough in possession with Johnny Howson. So used to seeing him as a midfielder, it's quite interesting to see him play as a centre-half these days. Plays it up to halfway. Whittaker looking to release Illing Jr., who just had that half chance for Middlesbrough, but he can't get to that ball. It's hit too long and too straight downfield, and it's back with Ben Wilson. 8 to the break, 0-0.
Yeah, it's something that Michael Carrick has put to him. I think he enjoys the role. You know, I think we can get another year and a half, 2 years out of him, definitely, because he's an organised, intelligent footballer with the position that he takes up. He can go and win his aerial duels, but on the floor, there's not many better.
So at the top, Burnley will win the title as things stand. They're drawing, Leeds are losing. So 98 points to 97. It'll be Coventry and Bristol City that get the final 2 playoff spots in that order. Coventry in 5th, Bristol City in 6th. Millwall are level on points with those 2, but they are 3 goals behind. So a goal for Millwall changes everything for Bristol City. Then come Blackburn and Middlesbrough here today on 65 points. If they get a goal, again, everything becomes totally different in the playoff picture. And Luton are 3rd bottom and going down there on 49 points. Derby on 50. So even if Luton get themselves level, they need to win really, because getting level with Derby is not enough. Even if Derby go behind, Luton's goal difference just isn't good enough. We'll keep you updated. Cardiff already down, and they've got a man sent off, and they're 3-0 down at Norwich. Plymouth already going down, but unbelievably beating champions-elect Leeds United. This division's just unpredictable is the perfect word. And remember, League 1 and League 2 finished this afternoon. Adrian Durham will take you around the grounds with reporters at key games in League 1 and League 2 as decisions are made there about promotion and playoffs. Now, Morgan Whittaker from Middlesbrough down the right-hand side. Flag stays down, gets into the area, tries to drive. It's blocked by Bidwell. Comes out to the edge of the box. Dijksteel lays it off to Morris. Morris clips it into the area looking for Conway. Headed away by Van Eyck. And then Sakamoto does enough to keep it away from Borges. And it goes back to the halfway line and Howson tidies up for Middlesbrough. 0-0 with just over 5 minutes to the break. Still awaiting the deadlock. So nobody in the top 9 of the table is winning. Here's Finn Azaz getting up to the edge of the area, tries to drive, tipped onto the post and wide by Wilson. Wasn't the best goalkeeping. He got something on it. It was enough to divert it onto the post. I thought he could have held it. Corner Middlesbrough.
No, the thing there, Ian, Finn Azaz has seen a lot more of the ball. It's an excellent shot. He's actually used the defender in front of him. I think it was Kitchen just to bend it round. So Wilson sees that late. It's an outstanding save just to get anything on it. If he doesn't get it, it's just sneaking into that bottom right hand corner. But fantastic quality from Finn Azaz there. Just used his body to protect the ball with I think it was Sheaf or Grimes it was, but took the shot early. No back lift at all.
Illing Jr. with the corner for Middlesbrough in the northeast corner away to our left hand side. Fry scrapping for position inside the box. It's headed away by Haji Wright. Sakamoto tries to head further clear and he's fouled. He's pulled down by Hayden Hackney. Free kick to Coventry. Let's get round the grounds and check in with some of our reporters. I'm going to go to Fratton Park next and Alex Crook.
Still Portsmouth 0, Hull 1, but a good chance for Portsmouth just a few moments ago. Long throw from the edge of the penalty area, not dealt with. It came from Matt Ritchie at the far post. He blazed into the stand. A win and Hull are definitely safe. They have the safety blanket now. With Luton losing, a point will keep them up as well. Portsmouth 0, Hull 1.
And it's not just Millwall who can cause problems if they score. It's Blackburn too. Let's get to Bramall Lane. Alan Biggs.
Yes, absolutely. Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0. They do need to win, but the other scores are very encouraging. And Callum Britton almost put them ahead with a curling angled effort that was tipped to safety by Adam Davis. Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0.
Like Callum Britton a lot, one of the more underrated right backs in the division at Blackburn Rovers, but stays goalless there in South Yorkshire. Sheffield United already confirmed in third place in the playoffs. They're going to be going somewhere on Thursday night. Is it going to be here? Is it going to be Bristol City? We will find out after the 90-odd minutes. Goalless here with 3 minutes of normal time to go in the first half on your home of the EFL. Talksport 2. Here's Hayden Hackney for Middlesbrough, being hassled and harried by Ben Sheaf, and so he passes the ball straight out of play because of that pressure. Coventry have a throw, 0-0.
Yeah, he's looking forward. That's when you want Finn Azaz, Conway to present themselves, but he has that quality just to keep possession of the ball. He's got to be careful as well, and he's on a yellow card, and he's had a couple of goes at Atwell, one for a free kick that was a free kick on Sakamoto, but then in fairness, Atwell should have given a free kick for himself when Sheaf came through him. He's played on, the balls went into the box, a couple of seconds later it got cut out, and I think Atwell should bring that back, so rightfully so he's had that little conversation with the referee.
Long ball downfield from Coventry, trying to get Sims in behind Howson, but out comes Travis, the goalkeeper, and a very neat clearance up to halfway to find Illing Jr., who's barged over. Free kick. Let me round up the scores again. Bristol City 0, Preston 1, Burnley 1, Millwall 1, Coventry 0, Middlesbrough 0 here, Derby 0, Stoke 0, Norwich 3, 10-man Cardiff 0, Plymouth 1, Leeds 0, Portsmouth 0, Hull 1, Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0, Sunderland 0, QPR 1, Swansea 1, Oxford 1. Greg Lees just equalised for Oxford at the Swansea.com stadium. Sheffield Wednesday lead at Watford. Josh Windass with the goal there, but that's a dead rubber. There's nothing on that. And West Brom 3, relegation threatened Luton 1. As things stand, Luton are going down, and Bristol City and Coventry will have the playoff places. Here's Bidwell for Coventry, into the box just over the head of Rodoni, headed away by Borges, comes out to Matt Grimes, lays it back to Ben Sheaf in the centre of the Middlesbrough half. Grimes again, doesn't want to cross it, gives it back to his captain Sheaf instead. Across it goes to Bobby Thomas. Thomas will look down the right-hand side for the Japanese winger Sakamoto. Sakamoto up against Illing Jr. Gets the cross in, left-footed. Rodoni! Coventry lead! And Jack Rodoni with a firm header, planted past Travers, gives Coventry City that little bit of breathing space that they need to secure a playoff place. Now Middlesbrough have got it all to do. Rodoni Rodoni makes it Coventry 1, Middlesbrough 0.
Everything about the goal was outstanding. Jack Rodoni's positioning, finds himself in a little space, the header, the accuracy. He knows he's going to get the header. Fantastic quality in from Sakamoto as well. You know, end product, he's always on the move, taking his man on, puts the ball right on the money for Rodoni, but there was a lot to do. He's put it into that bottom left-hand corner. From a defensive point of view, Michael Carrick will be disappointed. Right? Jack Rodoni cannot have that time and space. Just floated in between both centre-backs. And like you say, he was clinical with the finish. Outstanding header.
Only one goal in his previous 6 games, Jack Rodoni, but that will do very nicely. About 6 yards out. Let the ball skim off his head. Use the pace of it. And Travers could do nothing. And Coventry City are doing what they knew they needed to do when they got here this morning, win the game. And we're just heading into added time at the end of the first half on Talksport. There's only going to be a minute of minimum stoppage time at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Rodoni trying to pressurise Aidan Morris in midfield, but clipped downfield by Middlesbrough. Conway knows he can't go for it because he would have been offside. And the noise here at the Coventry Building Society Arena, I hope it's coming across to you as it is here as we sit in the West Stand. They're making a right old racket. More season ticket holders than ever before at this club. 21,500 committed themselves to watching football this season. They still don't own the stadium. I think Mike Ashley still owns this arena. But Doug King and the new ownership group at Coventry have ushered in a very positive new era. And they are definitely solidifying 5th place, Coventry, with this win they're getting. Because Bristol City, remember, losing at Preston. We'll get all the half-times with Faye Carruthers in a moment. If Faye's still there, she might have gone home. With Luton 3-1 down, I wouldn't blame her. I had to sit there last year when Birmingham were going down, watching Ipswich go up. That wasn't a lot of fun, I can tell you. Coventry with a long throw at the end of stoppage time. Milan van Eedwijk to hurl it into the box. Up go the heads. It's flicked on onto the 6-yard line, comes out to the edge of the box. Sheaf picks it up, drives down the left-hand side of the area. Held up for a moment by Azaz. Bidwell will just toss the ball into the area. Up go the heads, and there's a desperate attempt on a header from the centre-half Kitching. But the referee, Stuart Atwell, blows the half-time whistle, and Coventry City are doing what they need to do. They're winning this game. A late first-half header from Jack Rodoni from Sakamoto's precise right-wing cross was enough. But Middlesbrough, who need to win this game and hope that the results go their way, have had their chances. Illing Jr. with a drive just wide of the post. Tommy Conway having a shot tipped onto the post by Ben Wilson. They've not been without their opportunities, Michael Carrick and Borough, but a massive team talk for Michael Carrick at this interval. Frank Lampard, as it stands, is going to be into the playoffs for the 2nd time as a manager. At the break, here at the Coventry Building Society Arena, Coventry City 1, Middlesbrough 0.
So Coventry doing their job. They're up to 5th as it stands in the table, with Bristol City losing to Preston as it stands. We'll wait until all the half-times are in before taking you around the grounds and filling you in on the picture at the moment, which I have to say has been incredibly stressful from a Luton Town point of view. We're still playing here at the Hawthorns. Luton Town trailing West Brom by 3-1. All the other results as it stands going against them as well. So Luton Town are going down as it stands, but of course we've still got a big 45 minutes to come here on Talksport 2. There's been so much drama. I've been trying to write down all the goals as they happen, and there's just been chops and changes throughout the table. This is how it started. Tom Fellows scoring for West Brom after 7 minutes, dropping Luton into the relegation places, but then Ali equalised, meaning Hull were back in the relegation places. Burnley have been top. Leeds are trailing at the moment. It's just an absolute mess out there. Plymouth winning against Leeds, so Burnley are winning the title as it stands. Preston are well out of the relegation picture by leading Bristol City at the moment, and that massive Coventry goal for Jack Rodoni means that Coventry are currently 5th. But we'll wait for all of the half-time results to come in so I can give you a proper picture. Over on Talksport right now, we've got a Premier League game that kicked off at 12:30 exclusively, and it's Aston Villa 1, Fulham 0. Yuri Tielemans with the only goal of the game so far, giving Aston Villa's Champions League hopes a massive boost. We're going to be teasing Leicester Southampton, which is our 3 o'clock kickoff here on Talksport 2 later on in the Premier League. Nothing on that game at all. It's going to be who's going to be playing them in the Championship next season, because both have been relegated already. But most of the games have blown up for half-time, as we have here at the Hawthorns, which is where we'll start, Mickey Gray. Half-time at the Hawthorns.
Yeah, where it's not going well for Luton Town. It's West Bromwich Albion 3, Luton Town 1. And the goals came on 8 minutes from Tom Fellows with his left foot. He was free as a bird on the far post, and he just slotted it under Kaminski with a slight little bit deflection. They were behind for 2 minutes. Milenic Ali got himself back on level terms with a lovely low-fired ball into the bottom right-hand corner as well. Luton were then out of the bottom 3, and it was Hull who dropped into the bottom 3, but that lasted until the 30th minute when Daryl DK found himself free at the far post. A great ball in from Styles on the left-hand side, nodded the ball into the back of the net, and then West Brom added to the lead on 32 minutes. Tom Fellows with his second goal of the afternoon, a little right foot dink from the far post into the back of the net. Luton have it all to do in the second 45 minutes. At the moment, they need to score 3 goals or they are going down to League One. At the break, it's West Bromwich Albion 3, Luton Town 1.
And that is because Hull City have put in a performance against Portsmouth. How's it looking at half-time, Alex Crook?
It's Portsmouth 0, Hull City 1. The visitors started like a steam train. They could have scored even before Matt Crooks fired in from point-blank range on 18 minutes. It was a corner from the left-hand side, flicked on by João Pedro, and Crooks simply could not miss. They'd already forced a fine fingertip save from the Pompey goalkeeper Ben Killip to keep out captain Louis Coyle's effort from the edge of the penalty area, and a long throw from Gustavo Puerta caused chaos inside the Pompey box. Neither Matt Crooks or Carl Joseph could turn the ball in from inside the 6-yard area. They could have had a second Hull when Joe Gelhardt set off on a powerful burst into the box. His shot eventually was blocked by Connor Shaughnessy, but Pompey ended the half strongly. Matt Ritchie blazed over at the far post after Hull failed to deal with a corner. Marlon Pack, the captain, put a glancing header right the way across the 6-yard box from a corner, and then Callum Lang right on half-time saw his effort from outside the penalty area deflected behind. A party atmosphere in the away end. Hull knew coming into this game, if they won, they would be guaranteed survival. A point would be enough in the second half, even if Pompey equalise, unless Luton can pull off a miracle at the Hawthorns. Half-time here is Portsmouth 0, Hull City 1.
I guess, Jeff Peters, people are not quite as stressed at Pride Park as they would have been. How's it going there?
It's Derby 0, Stoke 0, both safe as it stands. A draw is enough for Stoke regardless of what happens elsewhere. It's been a game of few decent chances. Derby have looked the more threatening, just one clear opportunity. Johansson, the Stoke keeper, pushed a Langas header around the post after Armstrong's delightful floated ball into the box. Baker for Stoke has slapped one well wide from distance. That's been it for them going forward. Yeah, there's a generally positive mood from both sets of fans, given the fact that Luton are 3-1 down in their game. Derby 0, Stoke 0.
Let's have a look at the playoff picture with Coventry winning currently against Middlesbrough at the CBS Arena in our commentary game. How's it going at Ashton Gate between Bristol City and Preston, Lawrence Mora?
At the break, Bristol City 0, Preston 1. North End heading to the changing rooms with their fans bouncing and singing, "We are staying up." Emmy Reese's header from Brady's corner on 28 minutes. That's the difference between the teams. The striker showed incredible strength. He held off his markers, but got to be big question marks over the goalkeeper, Max O'Leary, failing to get close to that cross in his own 6-yard box. The home side have dominated possession. They've kept the ball moving well, but they're yet to create a real clear-cut chance. Twine and Wells dragging shots narrowly wide from 20 yards, about the sum of its parts. The Preston fans, as I said, having a ball one up, and then when they got the news of from the Hawthorns and Luton's demise, they were celebrating almost as much as they were when the goal actually went in. Liam Manning's side's playoff hopes, they are hanging by a thread. Preston's survival chances increasing significantly. At the break, Bristol City 0, Preston 1.
Well, Millwall are playing really well against Burnley, Chris Hull, and they were into the playoff places at one point during the game. What's the half-time score?
Half-time, Burnley 1, Millwall 1. An incredible start at Turf Moor with 2 key final day moments in quick succession. Firstly, on 11 minutes, the Lions pounce on the opening goal in the East Lancashire sunshine. It's across from the right-hand side, and there's Mihailo Ivanovic with a lovely deft right-footed finish. finish at the front post, just a few yards out. That's his 4th in 4 games and his 12th of the season. But just moments later, Josh Brownhill for Burnley, who's had an incredible season, gets his 17th of the campaign. Beautiful right-footed curling finish from the edge of the box into the far corner after a wonderful tackle by Ashley Barnes to win the ball on the edge of the box and set up Brownhill. At the moment, though, Burnley are heading for the Football League title and Millwall just missing out, but a goal for the Lions could change everything. Burnley 1, Millwall 1.
And finally, let's head to Bramall Lane and see how it's going between Sheffield United and Blackburn Rovers with Alan Briggs.
Yeah, Sheffield United 0, Blackburn Rovers now the home team on top for much of this first half, but that won't bother Blackburn unduly because it remains pretty much as it started. Win and they could be in the playoffs. Indeed, at the moment that would be the case should they score, perched as they are just outside the top 6, but in truth they haven't created very much, just an angled effort from Callum Britton that Adam Davis tipped away from just under the angle. At the other end, plenty of Blades pressure, but Balaz Tot in the Blackburn goal, well protected, just had a save to make from Tom Cannon at half-time. Still all to play for Rovers here. Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0.
Thank you very much, Alan Biggs. So this is the picture as it stands. At half-time, Burnley are winning the title because Leeds are trailing against Plymouth. We know that Sheffield United and Sunderland are already into the playoffs. Coventry have moved into 5th. Bristol City hanging on in 6th. They're level on points with Millwall, who are breathing down their necks, but they do have that final playoff spot still as it stands. In terms of the bottom of the table, Plymouth, despite winning against Leeds at half-time, are still going down alongside Cardiff City. Luton Town are also going down. They're on 49 points, level with Plymouth and 1 behind Derby County, who are drawing with Stoke. 45 minutes left to play, and it is going to be some wild ride, so strap yourselves in. Next up, we'll bring you the second half action from the CBS Arena. Coventry against Middlesbrough as the Championship season draws to a nail-biting close here on Talksport 2.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the EFL.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get reward points too. 18 plus participating restaurants. Delivery fees and terms apply. See mcdonalds.com.
At Tesco Mobile, we're celebrating 30 years of Club Card with deals like the awesome new Samsung Galaxy A56 with 12 gigs of data for just £27.99 a month with Club Card prices, saving you £144. Better yet, that price is frozen for the duration of your contract. And you can even bag a £30 Tesco gift card too. It pays to be connected. Search Tesco Mobile. Every little helps. Ends 18th of May. Club Card and 36-month credit agreement required. Savings total calculated on contract duration. Terms at tescomobile.com/terms.
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month. Right through May, get Chronaspan and Cablefloor 18 and 22 mil Tong and Groove P5 chipboard from £10 and 10 pence per sheet. Join the club and get this and other big trade deals this May with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
At AJ Bell, we've made setting up your ISA easy. So easy, a baby could do it. Though babies can't invest. They certainly wouldn't have any use for our low-cost investment platform, or the coordination to use it. Even though it's really, really easy. They also don't listen to radio ads. Unlike you clever sausage. Now, set yourself up with an ISA as a reward. You can even set one up for your baby. Open one in under 15 minutes and start investing today. AJ Bell. Feel good investing. The value of your investments can go down as well as up.
Ah, cricket. The unmistakable sound of leather on willow.
Absolute beauty.
Fireworks.
Get the distance. Power ballads.
And T-shirt cannons.
What a catch.
Vitality Blast is back with the biggest local rivalries.
Cartwheeling stumps.
And sixes in the sun. Oh, wonderful technique. Have a blast with men's and women's T20 cricket starting 29th of May.
Search Vitality Blast to get your tickets now.
Say
Save this bank holiday with Lidl. Get 15% off the Sea and Sun Care range with mini SPF 50 sun lotion for just £1.26 with Lidl Plus. And 30p off Gelatelli Deluxe ice cream tubs, now just £2.19. Download Lidl Plus and start saving today. 18 plus, GB only while stocks last. Terms apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV. Offer ends 5th of May.
Talksport 2 is your dynamic destination for all the latest sporting action. Featuring live commentary of all the biggest events, including football, PGA golf, horse racing, Premiership rugby, cricket, boxing, and all the big-hitting drama of the NFL. Touchdown! Plus, Talksport 2's official betting partner, William Hill, is always on hand with the insight and in-depth analysis you need. Talksport 2 with official betting partner, William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Enjoy a tasty night in delivered to your door with McDelivery. 18 plus, participating restaurants. Delivery fees and terms apply. See mcdonalds.com.
The unstoppable force of live football.
Brilliant goal!
EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2.
This is EFL Game Day exclusive. Faker Others with you for the final day of the Championship season. Here at the Hawthorns, it's West Brom 3, Luton Town 1. In our commentary game, Coventry are leading Middlesbrough by a 0-0. So as we stand, Coventry and Bristol City are heading into the playoffs, and Luton Town and Plymouth are heading down to League One. But of course, this is the Championship. All could change, as I hope it does, in the next 45 minutes. Over on Talksport right now, it's currently Aston Villa 1, Fulham 0. Villa, of course, still pushing for those Champions League places for next season. Later on, it's Leicester against Southampton from the Premier League. That's a 3 p.m. exclusive kickoff live here on Talksport 2. Both of these teams are going to be playing whoever is still in the Championship next season, because they have already been relegated. Let's head back to the CBS Arena with Ian Danter and Chris Wellamo, who are watching all the action between Coventry and Middlesbrough. Are we expecting any changes? We didn't get much chance to talk about that first half. It sounded so exciting from start to finish, but a Jack Redoni header is the only goal that separates the two sides at the minute, Chris.
Yeah, Frank Lampard will be absolutely delighted. You know, his team were out there. I think they've done the basics very well, winning second balls. I looked at the possession stats and very much split right down the middle. I was quite surprised at that, but I guess Coventry have had the ball in that attacking third. That's where they've had most of it. You know, I think Middlesbrough have shown the quality of defending well, making sure they get that first defensive contact, and then off the back of that they break with quality, with pace, and then they've had more shots in the game as well. So no, I think for me, Michael Carrick, he can make a few changes. In Iheanacho coming on, probably Bugsor coming on, just players that can influence it, but they're not a million miles off. You know, they have shown quality, they have had moments in the game that can really influence it. You know, Wilson's made a couple of saves as well, so I think Michael Carrick will he'll want a little bit more of a foothold, a little bit more control with the ball, but he can't ask for I guess, I think without the ball, I think Middlesbrough have been good as well. You know, in possessions, I think that defensive line needs to step up. It makes that midfield unit and the attacking unit, it makes it a little bit easier. They're covering a lot of distance. Conway is dropping right back defensively. I don't think he has to do that all the time. You know, he's got to pick his moments, but he has to be the outlet. He has to be the one trying to stretch the pitch from a Middlesbrough point of view as well. But there is changes that he can make that can influence the game.
Yeah, well, let's see whether he does decide to do that or not. Luton Town being relegated with Plymouth as it stands. Burnley winning the title, and Coventry are in the playoff box seat. But we're only at the halfway mark, and this is the Championship, as you all know. How are you feeling? Squeaky bum time all around, wherever you're listening to us. Remember, we'll be taking you wherever the story is with all of our reporters across the EFL Championship this afternoon. Brace yourselves for the next 45 minutes and enjoy. If you're a fan of a team who's got no skin in the game this afternoon, you're having a lovely time of it. You've got your own flip-flops on, haven't you? At the CBS Arena, ahead of Coventry against Middlesbrough. Let's rejoin former Scotland striker Chris Wellamo and Ian Danter for second half commentary.
Thank you, Faye. Middlesbrough players are back out. No sign of any immediate changes from Michael Carrick from the restart. Waiting for the Coventry players to emerge from the tunnel. Coventry were last in the Premier League back in 2000-2001 season, and of course they've gone all the way through the leagues since that time. Mark Robbins was the man that started the revolution to bring them back, and they are in their 10th successive season in the Championship. Came up from League One under Mark Robbins. And they got into the playoffs 2 years ago, but Luton Town did for them on penalties at Wembley. It was Fankati Darbo who missed the vital spot kick, no longer here. And this new breed of Coventry players looks set for another playoff push, as does Frank Lampard, who got Derby County to the playoff final when he was there. That brilliant performance against Leeds United at Ellen Road got them to Wembley, but they came up short then as well.
Yeah, but you know, that experience in itself will play a massive part in how he addresses things, how he sees things. You know, Coventry still aren't out. There's so much information the players have got to kind of take on board. He's probably trying to keep them calm. They're in complete control.
Club record attendance. There were just over 31,000 here for the game against West Brom, but 31,452 inside the arena is a new club record attendance for this side that are desperate to get back to the big time. And the applause you can hear greets the return of the Sky Blues to the pitch, having had their half-time instructions, and we're about to get the second half underway. So really, as things stand, our concentration in this second half is going to be whether Blackburn or Millwall can get a goal at either of their destinations. Blackburn are at Sheffield United, that's where Alan Biggs is. Millwall are at Burnley, that's where Chris Hull is. Then you've got events here. Can Middlesbrough get themselves level, put Coventry back under pressure? Bristol City hanging on to that final playoff place with Preston ahead. We'll check in with Lawrence Mora as well regularly. So much on a knife edge right now as Middlesbrough get back underway, wearing their all red strip today with the white stripe across the chest, and they're kicking towards their supporters in the south stand away to our right. It's myself and Chris Awellamo sit in the west stand here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Finn Azaz with an early ball into the box, but it's a comfortable claim for Wilson. It's running through the lineups. Wilson in goal for Coventry. Van Avijk, Thomas, Kitching, Bidwell, Grimes and Sheaf, Sakamoto, Rodoni, who scored the goal, and Wright with Sims. And then for Middlesbrough, Travers in goal, Dykesdale, Fry, Howson and Borges, Hackney and Morris, Whittaker, Azaz, Illing Jr. and Conway. And we are back underway.
Yeah, I think it's important. You're looking at Finn Azaz. Can he get up and support Tommy Conway a little bit more?
Sims was just pressurising Dale Fry there, and Fry went to ground claiming he was pushed. Nothing doing, says referee Stuart Atwell.
Yeah, but it's a nothing ball in behind for Ellis Sims to go and try and chase. He's putting that pressure on. And the same for Hadji Wright.
Neat drop of the shoulder from Morgan Whittaker for Middlesbrough. Plays a 1-2 with Hackney, but then loses out to Sheep, but the ball ricochets back into Hackney's path. Out to the left-hand side, and Borges, but he'll just calmly roll it back to the halfway line. And Johnny Howson for Middlesbrough. Howson, 340 appearances now for the Borough. Whittaker gets to the edge of the area, goes down. No foul, says Stuart Atwell, quick to wave that away. And Coventry keep the ball in play and concede the throw, actually. Grimes couldn't keep hold of it, and Middlesbrough level with the 18-yard line. Away to our right, find Tommy Conway. Out to the right-hand corner of the area, Whittaker works it back to Hackney. Heavy first touch that allowed Sakamoto to get back at him, but Hackney just drives it forcefully across the face of goal, but nobody there in a red shirt inside the 6-yard box to turn it home. So Coventry get a throw, 1-0.
Yeah, but it's quality from Hayden Hackney there. He just takes control of the ball. Sakamoto, he just protects it. He's inside the box. He knows no one can just leave that lazy leg in there, so he gets away. And I think it's this kind of cross shot, isn't it? I think he's asked the question, try and get the trigger. It's a tight angle, but he's put it across the face of goal. There's no way that the likes of Conway and that are going to get on the end of that one.
Throw for Van Avijk. Gets it up to the halfway line. It's one back by Finn Azaz. Middlesbrough have got to find 2 goals from somewhere. They've got to win. A draw was never going to be enough, regardless of how the match situations were before kick-off. So at some point, Michael Carrick's got to deal the cards from his deck and gamble, Chris Awellamo.
Yeah, they have started better. You know, that defensive line's up a little bit. They're seeing a little bit more in that attacking third, but it's just that final little bit of quality.
Hadji Wright, though, for Coventry, bursting down the left-hand side. Dyke still goes out with him to the corner flag. Wright keeps it in play. Rolls it back to Jake Bidwell, just in front of our commentary position. Plays into the left-hand corner of the area. Sheep rolls in right down the left-hand side of the box. Sims can't get a touch on the 6-yard line, and then Middlesbrough bring it clear. And a little touch from Azaz, works it to Morgan Whittaker. In slides Jake Bidwell to win it back for Coventry City, but then he can't profit from it, and Middlesbrough have it back. Here's Hayden Hackney driving towards the halfway line. Plays it to his left, looking for Illing Jr., but that's a poor weight of pass, easily picked off by Coventry.
Just miscommunication here, and they're driving over the halfway line. It has to go in behind, in between Sakamoto and Bobby Thomas there.
Oh, Haji Wright tried to go on the outside of Dykesteel and slipped over and tried to drag Dykesteel down by his shorts as he fell to the turf. That was quite comical. 1-0 to Coventry, 48 minutes gone. Goal at Bramall Lane, breakthrough, Alan Biggs.
It's Sheffield United 0, Blackburn Rovers 1, right in front of the 2,000 Blackburn Rovers fans amassed to the goal to my left. Yuki Ohashi, the top scorer, has poked Rovers into the lead from a right wing cross. He stretched out a left foot, diverted it past Adam Davis, and that goal, which is his 9th of the season at this moment as it stands, would put Blackburn into the playoffs. It's Sheffield United 0, Blackburn Rovers 1.
Illing Jr. pokes the goal goalwards, and it's saved by Ben Wilson right in front of goal as Middlesbrough go close, but it's straight at Coventry's keeper Ben Wilson and stays 1-0 to the Sky Blues. But that Blackburn goal causes problems for Bristol City down at Ashton Gate. Talksport 2's Lawrence Mora.
Where it's Bristol City 0, Preston 1, and Bristol City have had a poor start to the second half. Preston have been on the front foot, they look really up for it, and now Bristol City, from starting the day 5th, have dropped out of the top 6 as Blackburn have gone in. Wow, 51 gone here, and it is all to play for. Bristol City 0, Preston 1.
Yes, Blackburn in 6th. Coventry City in 5th, and Coventry coming forward with Rodoni, who scored the first half goal. Gets it back in the area, but a heavy touch allows Fry to toe poke it clear. Important header on halfway from Thomas as the ball bounced awkwardly. If that had gone over his head, Tommy Conway would have been away for Borough into the Coventry half of the field, but instead it's Rodoni again for the hosts. Down the right wing, feeds Sakamoto, looks up, sends the ball into the box, headed away by Fry to the edge of his own area, and then volleyed further cleared neatly by Morgan Whittaker. 1-0 to Coventry City.
Yeah, taking complete control, winning the second balls, but in that wide area, especially out on the right hand side, great quality coming into the box. Rodoni, such an intelligent player, all over. And then look at this, Middlesbrough on the break, that defensive line steps up. Tommy Conway, he's trying to play on the shoulder. Middlesbrough players, the midfield know the ball has to go earlier. He has to go earlier if you want him to stay on side. He's always going to gamble.
Remember, the other team involved in the playoff place is Millwall, who are currently drawing at Turf Moor. It's Chris Hull.
That's right, 52 minutes on the clock. Burnley 1, Millwall 1. Burnley should be in the lead just 5 minutes into the second half. Hannibal surging forward about 50 yards from his own penalty area, lays in Jayden Anthony, who fires straight at the Millwall goalkeeper George Evans. At this moment in time, Burnley are heading for the title. Millwall just missing out. Burnley 1, Millwall 1.
That's right, because Leeds are still trailing by a goal to nil at already, well, they were relegated, Plymouth. Really, it would take a mathematical miracle for them to have survived on final day. I think the die was cast.
This is brilliant from Coventry, just slowing it right down, going back to Wilson every opportunity, just trying to stop Middlesbrough out. And then it's like Sheaf and Matt Grimes are sharing that responsibility so well. I think with Matt Grimes, who usually sits as a holder, it allows Sheaf to go box to box, break his neck, but he's coming and showing Sheaf, and then Matt Grimes has that intelligence. Can he stretch the pitch? Can he pick up the ball in that little 10 position?
That's former playoff winner Chris Iwelumo, you can hear alongside me, Ian Danter, at the CBS Arena. And thankfully, so far, I've had no digs in the ribs from Chris this afternoon.
Well, you sat me in the other seat away. I wondered why when I first came. I thought, is there something wrong here?
You got long limbs. You can still get at me. I know you can. 1-0 to Coventry City on your home of the EFL. Talksport 2 on final day in the Championship. So much to be decided. Still jeopardy up in the air. Middlesbrough have got to find 2 unanswered goals from somewhere. Otherwise, they've missed out on the playoffs, and what that will do for Michael Carrick's position, I simply don't know. Steve Gibson is not a chairman known for being trigger happy with his managers. However, it remains to be seen. But there's time left for them to do something about this, and Finazaz has possession for the visitors out on the left-hand side, level with the 18-yard line. Has he won a corner for Middlesbrough? He has. Over on the south-east corner, on the far side of the field, a chance for Middlesbrough to load the box, but they're a goal down here.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going to get a lot of joy. This You know, I think the players are taking responsibility, and from a Coventry point of view, they're sitting in, they're compact, they're hard to kind of break down and play through. So this is where the areas down that both flanks, Finnazaz, can he be supported by Burgess as well to get over and underlap, and then on the right hand side as well. But it's all about end product as well, having these moments.
I love it. Coventry fans in that far corner going as they say that Illing Jr. didn't have the ball in the quadrant correctly, and that forced Stuart Atwell to go over there and check. We'll get to a goal at Fratton Park in a minute, but here's Illings Jr.'s corner into the near post, headed away by Wright. So where's that goal gone in at Fratton Park? Alex Crook.
Well, Hull nerves are jangling once again because it's Portsmouth 1, Hull 1, 10 minutes into the second half. Christian Sadie off the bench with the equaliser. The ball played into the big striker in the penalty area, right-hand side. It is a rasping right-footed shot beyond the goalkeeper into the far corner. A point keeps Hull up as it stands. If they lose, they are going down. Portsmouth 1, Hull 1.
And Alex is dead right. It takes them back to 49 points, level with Luton, but they've got a much better goal difference. Hull -9 to Luton's -24. Any sign of Luton mounting a comeback at the Hawthorns? Mickey Gray.
No, it's still West Bromwich Albion 3, Luton Town 1. I think that just filtered through to the stadium, Dan, to really ask, because in the Smethwick end to my right-hand side, over 2,500 Luton fans are starting to cheer. They know they need goals in this second half, because at the moment they are going down. West Bromwich Albion 3, Luton Town 1.
And Wilfred Nonto has equalised for Leeds at Plymouth, so the title back on for Daniel Farke, who's won the title twice at Norwich. They were brilliant on Monday night against Bristol City, and they're level at Home Park. Hadji Wright for Coventry to the dead ball line, just runs out of room. He was trying to out-muscle Anthony Dykesdale, who did really well coming across from right back, and Wright, by the time he got to the pitch of the ball, had gone over the dead ball line. 1-0 to Coventry.
Yeah, it's quality from Hadji Wright. He got the flick and he's on to his own flick on there. Dykesdale seen the danger and got himself across and just got his body between ball and man and ushered it out there. Fantastic defending.
Almost from Aidan Morris, trying to play the ball through the middle for the run of Conway. Almost got it right. Just overcooked the pass a little bit. Conway was on the shoulder of the defender waiting to make the run. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Coventry 1, Middlesbrough 0, a scoreline that keeps Coventry very much in the playoffs. 5th place, Bristol City in 6th. How are the nerves at Ashton Gate, Lawrence Mora?
Absolutely jangling. 56 gone, Bristol City 0, Preston 1. But here comes Liam Manning's first big roll of the dice. Triple substitution. Mametti coming on. There's George Erdy coming on, and Roberts coming on. So he's going to switch around the formation here. Twine is coming off. Max Bird is coming off. That's a bit of a surprise. And also Tanner. So we'll wait and see how that all plays out. But a big change from Manning as Bristol City. They've got to chase this now, because at the moment they have dropped out of the playoffs despite starting 5th at the start of the day. It's Bristol City 0, Preston 1.
Coventry 1, Middlesbrough 0. Here at the CBS Arena in front of a record attendance at this stadium of nearly 31,400. I think we've got a goal elsewhere, have we, in the Championship? At West Brom, Mickey Gray.
Yeah, where it is all over here, Dan, so it feels that way. West Bromwich Albion 4, Luton Town 1, and it's Callum Stiles who's popped the ball in the back of the net. West Brom will come out stronger again in the second half. They work it really well down the right-hand side. Stiles is there, cross comes into the box and he slots the ball into the back of the net. A mountain to climb for Luton now if they're going to get out the bottom 3. West Bromwich Albion 4, Luton Town 1.
Successive relegations beckon for Luton. Long throw for Coventry into the area from Van Eyck. Drops on the 6-yard line. It drifts away from Thomas and Radoni, and Illing Jr. will bring it clear. Barged over by Radoni. But actually, no, says the referee Stuart Atwell. Gives the throw to Coventry. Let's check in with team news from our 3 o'clock commentary on Talksport 2. Relegated sides Leicester and Southampton meet. Joe Shannon's got the details.
And 5 changes for Leicester. Skip, Ayew, McAteer, Justin and goalkeeper Stolarczyk all start. Hermanson, Ricardo, Sumare, Buonanotte and Di Cordova-Reid drop out. Southampton are unchanged from last week, Dance.
Thank you, Joe. Cardiff got a goal back at Norwich, but they're a man down and 3-1 down. Yusuf Select with a penalty for the Bluebirds. Another long throw for Coventry back here at the CBS Arena. Coventry 1-0 up. Van Eyck again sends the ball into the near post. Travers punches it clear to the right-hand side of the area, and Hackney, well, he kept it away from Van Eyck, but then it came back to the right wing-back's direction. Oh, he lost possession in the end, back-heeled himself into trouble. And a goal at Bramall Lane, Alan Biggs.
It's now Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. Anel Ahmed Hodzic has poked home from close range following Sheffield United's most intense pressure of the game, and suddenly Blackburn's playoff hopes are eclipsed. They're going to have to score again. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1.
Finn Azaz just brought a brilliant save out of Ben Wilson when Middlesbrough looks certain to equalise here at the CBS Arena.
Well, he just went with power, hasn't he? He just went low and hard. Wilson's just down to it. Fantastic connection as well. But I think he's just got to go into the roof of the net.
Illing Jr. now with the drive, and it skims wide of the far post, but it has gone out for a corner. That goal against Blackburn Rovers puts Bristol City back into the playoffs. We'll go there shortly, but the short corner's been taken by Middlesbrough. Chipped to the far post by Whittaker. Strong header clear by Thomas. Chested down by Morris, but he runs into Ellis Sims. Drops at the edge of the Coventry box once again. Anywhere will do from Jack Rodoni, just toe-ended away to the halfway line. Let's check it at Ashton Gate as news of that goal has filtered through. Lawrence Moore up.
That goal filtered through, but check this, Bristol City 0, Preston 2. Osmajic has scored for the visitors. It was a really kind of soft through ball. Bristol City thought they were playing him offside. The flag didn't go up. He looked like he was being kept on, and Osmajic was the coolest man in the stadium to roll it through Max O'Leary's legs into the back of the net. The Preston fans have broken down the barrier. They've spilled onto the pitch in celebration just for fun. It's very good natured. They're celebrating, but my goodness, that is a dagger to Bristol City's playoff hopes. They stand, the players, with their hands on their hips. The stadium has gone silent apart from the celebrations, wild celebrations in the Preston end. Bristol City have an absolute mountain to climb. Bristol City 0, Preston 2.
Another save from Ben Wilson to deny Finn Azaz. Middlesbrough have another throw. Another goal at West Brom, Mickey Gray.
Well, it is all over now. It's West Bromwich Albion 5, Luton Town 1. Callum Stards with his second goal of the afternoon from about 25 yards out. Pulls the trigger with his left foot, fires it low into the bottom corner. The heads have dropped from Luton Town. They are looking like they are going down. West Brom 5, Luton Town 1.
Ball played into the Coventry box, but it evades Tommy Conway and goes out for a goal kick. So Blackburn have been pegged back by Sheffield United. That puts Bristol City back into the playoffs. So Bristol City, despite losing, can still make it. But if Millwall score at Burnley, that changes everything. Let's get back there. Chris Hull.
2 minutes gone, it's still Burnley 1, Millwall 1. At the moment we've got a delay because George Evans, the Millwall goalkeeper, collided with Ashley Barnes and also the goalpost, so he's receiving treatment. But quite frankly, Burnley could have had 4 goals in this second half. Hannibal on the edge of the box, curling one right-footed. It takes a coat of paint off the top of the crossbar. Marcus Edwards really should have scored from 6 yards out, puts it over, and on another day Burnley could have had a hatful. But at the moment Millwall are still hanging in there, and the Lions supporters are in tremendous voice. Burnley 1, Millwall 1.
I'm all confused now because my as it stands table hasn't put in the Sheffield United equaliser at home to Blackburn. Haji Wright for Coventry City, 1-0 up here on Talksport 2, faced up by Whittaker, gets into the area, drives a left-footed shot across the face of goal. We could see that was going wide from our Coventry position. Goal kick to Millwall, 1-0.
Yeah, fantastic quality, Haji Wright, gets at his man, just manipulates the ball to create the space to get the shot away. Ellis Sims, can you throw yourself, try and get some sort of contact on that? But I've got to say, Middlesbrough are very much in this game. You know, the Finn has seen a lot of the ball, and it's a conscious decision by Coventry. They're sitting a little bit deeper, they're conceding a little bit more possession. Middlesbrough are seeing that, getting a lot more of the ball in the right areas, and it's a dangerous game to play. You can see Bobby Thomas and Kitchen communicating, trying to communicate to the team as well, trying to step up. They've got to dictate that, they've got to dominate that and make sure that they can step up and get out and get up the pitch a little bit more.
Just over an hour gone on Talksport 2. You're home with the EFL, final day of the Championship. Don't forget, final day of League 1 and League 2 to come from 3 o'clock on Talksport, as Adrian Durham will expertly guide you around the grounds with goals as they go in and what they mean. I'll run you through the scorelines in the Championship in a minute. But here come Middlesbrough, needing 2 goals, otherwise their season is over. Here's Morgan Whittaker, yet to score for the club. Finds a little backheel for Hayden Hackney across the face of goal. Azaz trying to get it, sort his feet out, but he runs into Sakamoto, who gets it clear, looking for Sims on halfway. Good strong header from Johnny Howson. Middlesbrough keep the ball alive. And it's Borges out to the left-hand side and Illing Jr. 4 waiting for a cross. Illing Jr. finds Azaz. Left-hand side of the area, drives it in, held onto by Wilson at his near post. Stays 1-0 Coventry.
Yeah, finding the space well for Azaz there. The connection wasn't great, but still asked that question of Wilson. Sakamoto, he's following Finazaz. He's trying to all over the pitch. It's a fantastic little challenge on him at the other side there, and then trying to get out. But like I say, Middlesbrough picking up those second balls, keeping the pressure on.
So of the top 8, only Coventry City are winning here. 1-0 against Middlesbrough. Leeds are going to win the title. They're drawing. So too are Burnley. Nerves must be slightly less frayed at Pride Park. Jeff Peters.
Yeah, it's Derby 0, Stoke 0. News of that 5th goal going in against Luton, and both sets of fans here, they've been singing and chanting. They know that they'll be safe. Derby 0, Stoke 0.
Coventry coming forward with Van Avijk. Chips the ball into the area. Hadji Wright heads it down. Sheaf with his back to goal can't turn and shoot. And Whittaker will just half clear. Flicked on neatly by Azaz. Conway can't get to the second ball. Thomas there strongly to win it back for Coventry City, who lead by a goal to 0. Play on, says the referee, as Whittaker shoves right to the ground. Bidwell going for the byline up against Dijksteel, but again, good defending from the Middlesbrough right back and brings it clear. Goal at Turf Moor, Chris Hull.
Jayden and Burnley 2, Millwall 1. Jayden Anthony with the goal, right-footed from about 12 yards out, curling it past George Evans, and at this moment in time, that will take Burnley back to the top, and they'll win the Football League title. Millwall are going to miss out. It's Burnley 2, Millwall 1.
Title beckons for the Clarets, and another goal at the Hawthorns. Mickey Gray.
Yeah, whereas West Bromwich Albion 5, Luton Town 2, and Jordan Clark with a little curler from the corner of the 18-yard area. Curled into the corner. It might be a little bit too late now. West Bromwich Albion 5, Luton Town 2.
So with Millwall trailing, they're down and out of the playoff race as things stand, down to 8th. But Blackburn still very much alive. A goal there, if they went back in front, would change everything. Alan Biggs.
Absolutely, Dance. It's still Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1, but all the pressure has been on the Blackburn goal since the Blackburn goal from Ohashi. But you never know. They produced a goal out of nothing. Can they do it again? Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1.
As Coventry win a corner kick, as Hadji Wright forces Dijksteel to turn it behind at the north stand into our left for a corner kick. Chris Iwelumo.
It all came from Jack Rodoni. He's picking up some fantastic spaces in that little 10 space, and then it's just the control.
He's played well today,
he's been outstanding, and then just releases the ball in the right way. Hadji Wright, he's been so direct, but Dijksteel he's up against him. He's going all the way with him. Fantastic timely challenge in the 18-yard box.
For a man who's almost as tall as you, and you're tall enough, his balance is fantastic.
It's excellent. His first touch, his control, the way that he manipulates himself inside the box as well, just to try and create that yard. Outstanding for a big man.
He's going to have this corner just down to our left-hand side, into the near post, just avoids Bidwell, who was flying inside the 6-yard box but couldn't connect. It's played back out by Sakamoto to Rodoni on this near side, 10 yards from the dead ball line, faced up by Hayden Hackney, tries to nutmeg Hackney, and Hackney's done well, assisted by Dijksteel, and in the end a throw-in is given to Middlesbrough. So, as things stand in the Championship, Burnley are going to win the title with 100 points. Leeds United, who the highest goal scorers wanted 100 goals, we're never going to get it. They're going to finish second. They will go up automatically. Playoffs, Sheffield United, Sunderland, Coventry, who are winning here 1-0, and Bristol City. Bristol City losing 2-0 at home to Preston, who are getting themselves safe. One more goal for Blackburn. If they can get back in front at Sheffield United, that changes everything. Burnley are beating Millwall, who are the other team involved in the playoff pack. Borges has gone off the left back, and Delano Bergzorg has come on. That's a definite shift in philosophy and approach from Middlesbrough.
Yeah, definitely. Illing Jr. will just drop back now. Bergzorg will go onto the left-hand side, and Finazaz will just be doing exactly what he's been doing in the middle. So, yeah, very much the same, but have that threat of Bergzorg, who has that. He's got the aggression, but he's got the mobility as well to get in behind. Good football player.
Tatsuhiro Sakamoto for Coventry City on the right-hand side, level with the 18-yard line. Works it back in field to the impressive Rodoni. Now Van Avijk, who for me was sorely missed at Luton last week. He's been very, very good in that right-back, or indeed right wing-back position, because Coventry have played with 3 centre-halves at times whilst he's been at the club. And he's equally adept, for me, in both positions. Ball's back with Bobby Thomas, another of the players brought back today. Goal at Ashton Gate. Which way's this one gone? Loris Mora.
Bristol City 1, Preston 2. Ross McCrory at the back post was in the right place, the perfect place to head George Eardy's cross. Bristol City, the fans have kept with them because of the goal at Sheffield United, and now they've got themselves back in it. Bristol City 1, Preston 2.
But they're still losing, so their playoff qualification hanging by a thread. Bristol City. Here come Middlesbrough with a quarter of the game to go here at the CBS Arena, needing 2 goals without reply, otherwise season over. Delano Bergzorg just on. Down the left-hand side, faced up by Van Ewijk. He's got 3 waiting for a cross. Finds Whittaker, gives it back to Bergzorg. Tries to roll it onto his left foot and allowed Van Ewijk to clear. Still Middlesbrough have it. Finn Azaz, edge of the D, tries left-footed, blocked, comes back to him on the right foot. Desperate clearance from Jake Bidwell. But here come Middlesbrough again. Fry finds Dijksteel at the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Azaz pulls out to the right wing, receives it now, gives it back to Aidan Morris. Thought about chipping the ball into the area. Instead he might go for goal. Runs out of room, and then Whittaker is robbed by Ben Sheaf. Sheaf has got Wright on his left-hand side as he gets to the halfway line. Feeds the American. Haji Wright up to the edge of the area. Got Fry backpedaling. Wright ricochets through a challenge. Might get it back from Ben Sheaf. Drops for Radoni. Saved by Travers. And a desperate clearance from Johnny House, and stays 1-0 to Coventry.
Yeah, Jack Radoni will be disappointed with himself. He had a lot of time to think about it. He knows he's got that quality on the left foot as well. Into the corner. I don't think Travers gets on that. Straight at him, he's got himself down. But again, fantastic quality. Again, Haji Wright getting on the ball, making things happen.
Ball's out on the right-hand side for Tatsuhiro Sakamoto for Coventry, driving at Bergzorg. Oh, what a pirouette to get away, at least initially, from Illing Jr. And then he's won it back again inside the penalty area when it looked like all was lost. Lovely play from the Japanese midfielder, but ultimately it comes to nothing. And Middlesbrough bring it clear and find Finn Azaz just shy of the halfway line. Can't keep it away from Grimes. And Coventry have it back.
Well, I'll be honest, Stuart Atwell's been very consistent. He's letting a lot of things go that there would be no surprise, no argument if a free kick's given against Sakamoto there with the contact in the box.
Dijksteel can't get away from Ben Sheaf, but he'll have it back. Championship scores: Bristol City 1, Preston 2, Burnley 2, Millwall 1, Coventry 1-0 up against Borough here, Derby 0, Stoke 0, both those sides safe. Norwich 4, relegated Cardiff 1, Shane Duffy gets a goal. Plymouth 1, Leeds 1, Leeds are missing out on the title with Burnley winning. Portsmouth 1, Hull 1, Hull are safe. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1, another Blackburn goal really puts it amongst it in the playoffs. Here's Bergzorg for Middlesbrough, fires it over the bar from inside the box. Big chance for the substitute, fails to take it. Goal kick to Coventry, who still lead 1-0. Christian Wellamo.
Illing Jr. fires it into him. It's a great touch from Bergzorg as well. Just opens up the goal, just takes it in his stride, and he's just trying to put it in the top right hand corner. What he has to do is just make sure he works Wilson in the goal, hit the target. Bobby Thomas is throwing himself at it. He's just got to make sure he works the goalkeeper there, because he's got the connection, he's got the power. The accuracy just wasn't there.
Substitution being made, and Brandon Thomas Asante is going to come on for Ellis Sims for Coventry City. Gives me a chance to recap the rest of the scores. Sunderland 0, QPR 1. Doesn't really matter. Sunderland in the playoffs. Swansea 2, Oxford 2. Pereira Ronald has made it 2-2 at the Swansea.com. Still Watford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, another dead rubber. And West Brom 5, Luton 2 as it stands. Successive relegations for Luton Town, when all looks so different with the back-to-back wins they got over Easter. Not so. Goal kick to Coventry City. Let's check in at Bramall Lane as we go back round the grounds on Talksport 2. Alan Biggs.
Yeah, Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. Blackburn have to score, but they're not really gambling from the bench. They've got players there they might bring on. 72 minutes gone, they haven't done yet. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1.
And Millwall, the other team who could have leapfrogged Middlesbrough and Coventry into the plus, but they trail at Turf Moor, and they're going to be the champions are Burnley. Chris Hull.
Yes, that's right. 73 minutes on the clock, just 17 minutes away from the Football League Championship title. Burnley 2, Millwall 1, and Jadon Anthony, who could have maybe had 3 or 4 goals today, finally getting his goal, curling in with his right foot. And Burnley at the moment are heading for 100 points and the Championship. Burnley 2, Millwall 1.
Quickly to Fratton Park, although it's probably party time there in the Milton end. Alex Crook.
I wouldn't say that, Dan. It's nervous here. Portsmouth 1, Hull City 1. Hull know if they concede again, they will be down. Josh Murphy has just put a really dangerous corner right across the face of goal that needed heading behind. 16 minutes of normal time to play. It's Portsmouth 1, Hull 1.
Long throw for Coventry into the box. We'll be off to Ashton Gate in just a moment on Talksport 2. Van Ewijk's throw headed towards goal. It might drop. It's hooked away by Whittaker. Where's that goal gone in at Ashton Gate? Lawrence Mora.
Bristol City 2, Preston 2, Ross McCrory at their double. A stunning pass by Williams through the back line of the Preston defence. McCrory running onto it, and he finished with aplomb. Bristol City have got themselves a playoff lifeline. Bristol City 2, Preston 2.
Brandon Thomas Asante hits the post from 25 yards for Coventry City as they go so close to making it 2-0. What an introduction that would have been as a substitute. Middlesbrough allowed to play on. They've got a life here, Middlesbrough. They need 2 goals. They very nearly needed 3.
He's come on, he's made an influence, he's up to speed. Great couple of touches as well. Just uses strength, gets away from his player there, puts the laces through it. I tell you what, Travers has no chance whatsoever. Hits that left-hand post. Excellent technique from Thomas Asante there. Fantastic quality.
So Middlesbrough have got 20 minutes or so to save their season. Coventry are in the playoffs. Bristol City are in the playoffs. As you've just heard, they've levelled it up against Preston, whose nerves will be jangling themselves, the Lily Whites. Here's Hadji Wright. Oh, it's 3-on-1 for Coventry. Right into the area. Thomas Asante wants it. Wright tries to go on the outside of Howson, who uses all of his experience to challenge Wright and put it behind for a corner when Coventry had 3-on-1 in the box.
You have to say about the defending there, Johnny Howson, not just let them come in. Hadji Wright has to release the ball a little bit earlier. Just that one in behind Johnny Howson and in front of Travels for Thomas Asante to come on and make the connection. But he also had the other option as well to cut it back. Yeah, poor there, 3v1, have to capitalise in those moments.
Rudoni will take the corner just down to our left-hand side of the northwest corner of this packed Coventry Building Society Arena. As it stands, Coventry are finishing 5th and will be playing Sunderland here on Friday night in the playoffs, live on Talksport. Rudoni with the left wing corner, deep to the far post. Up went the centre halves, and there was a push by a Coventry player on Aidan Morris, and Middlesbrough get themselves a free kick. Let's check back in Bramall Lane, Sheffield United, Blackburn. Alan Biggs.
Well, it's still Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1. All the attacking play is coming from the home team here, but that was also the case when Ohashi put Blackburn ahead. They really have to score. I think the manager has to play more of a part. He has to put on players from the bench. Corley Woodrow is there for 1. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1.
And the non-aggression pact appears to be holding at Pride Park. Jeff Peters.
It does. It's Derby 0, Stoke 0. News elsewhere means that both sets of fans can relax. They can celebrate. They will be safe. Derby 0, Stoke 0.
Here is Finnazaz for Middlesbrough. 1-0 down at Coventry with a quarter of an hour to go. They need 2 goals, Michael Carrick's men. And they're coming forward with Morgan Whittaker. Goes down, 20 yards out. No free kick, says Stuart Atwell. Whittaker looks imploringly at the referee. And Coventry come forward, and it's Thomas Asante who hit the post a couple of moments ago, who's jogging down the left-hand side of the area. Rudoni calling for it far post. It gets pulled back, can't find its way through to Rudoni. Illing Jr. with a vital interception for Middlesbrough.
He had to be there, Illing Jr. A great control, composed defending as well. Not only does he get into position, but he gets the ball, gets his head up, comes out and keeps possession of it in that transition. Excellent defending.
Let's get back to the Hawthorns. The Luton fans resigned to their fate, Mickey Gray.
Well, they're certainly looking that way here. Dance West Bromwich Albion 5, Luton Town 2. I think they're hoping and wishing for a goal from Portsmouth, and that would help Luton Town out absolutely massively. But at the moment, they're not really threatening that West Bromwich Albion goal. They need to score 3 just to get back on level terms. They're really, really struggling here, Luton Town. West Brom 5, Luton Town 2.
Bergsorg is offside as he tried to break the lines. So let's check back in at Fratton Park and see how the whole fans are coping. Alex Crook.
Well, they're sat in silence almost away to my right, Dan. It's Portsmouth 1, Hull 1. Pompey have certainly been the better team in this second half. In fact, I would go as far as to say if there is to be a third goal, I fancy the hosts to get it. We're going to get a big delay at the end of this game. We had 6 added minutes at the end of the first half. Marlon Pack has been down, the Pompey captain, needing treatment. I think we might well be the last game to finish, just to add to the last day drama. Portsmouth 1, Hull 1.
Well, that means we will be with Crookie at full time here for certain for the last stages of that if Portsmouth Hull is the last game to finish, and there's still jeopardy riding on it from the Hull City and Luton Town point of view. Plenty of changes being made by Middlesbrough. Marcus Force is coming on. Kelechi Iheanacho has come on. And who is going off? Aidan Morris is one of those that's gone off.
What's crazy about he's really going for it here. Johnny Howson's come off.
Yeah.
Aidan Morris has come off. You know, it's unbelievable. So he's bringing on offensive players, go and affect it. It's going to be, there's no real formation. They're just having a gamble now. Create a little bit of mayhem. Hopefully the opportunity presents itself.
So 12 minutes of normal time remaining, and Middlesbrough are going for it. They're going 3 at the back, really.
Yeah, Dykesteel's off as well.
Dykesteel went off, so you've got essentially Illing Jr., Fry and Vandenberg has come on, with Hackney just in front, and then everyone else just piles forward. But here come Coventry looking for a second. Haji Wright lays it back to Bidwell, centre of the half. Wright again rolls his foot on the ball, trying to turn away from Vandenberg, and that's been given as a foul against Rav Vandenberg.
It's a soft one, but it's definitely a foul. Yeah, but he has been excellent as well today, hasn't he? Every time he gets the ball, Haji Wright wants the ball. He's expansive. He's got that intelligence. He gets in and gets beside that central striker. Thomas Asante at the minute. Ellis Simsey was doing the exact same, but always wanting the ball. And when he gets it, he's direct. He's making things happen. End product, shots, blocks, whatever it may be. He's been an absolute delight today, and that's what you want to see from him consistently.
We'll get back round the grounds in a minute here on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Coventry have a free kick just outside the penalty area. Left-footed delivery from Matt Grimes. It's a good delivery too. Just over the head of Thomas Asante. Drops for Bobby Thomas. Tries to drive it across the face of goal. Thomas Asante's shot blocked on its way to goal by Vandenberg. Now Radoni trying to tee himself up for a volley on goal. It's blocked away. Wright trying to keep it in play. And it's eventually pounced upon by the goalkeeper, Mark Travers, and Middlesbrough survive a scare again. Don't forget, every playoff game live across the Talksport network, starting on Thursday night on the Talksport app. And as things stand, it will be Bristol City against Sheffield United at Ashton Gate. That will be the first of the playoffs on Thursday night on the Talksport app. And then Coventry, who are winning here, will be home to Sunderland on Friday night. And then, of course, once we get to the weekend, the League One and the League Two playoffs will get underway, and we'll find out who exactly is in those playoffs come 5 o'clock or so today. Adrian Durham taking you round the grounds from 3 o'clock over on Talksport to decide whether it's Reading or Leyton Orient in the playoffs in League One, whether it's Bradford or Walsall or even Notts County who get automatic promotion from League Two. And, of course, the playoff picture needs to sort itself out in League Two as well. 10 minutes to go on Talksport 2. There was a bit of a to-do between Haji Wright and a Middlesbrough defender, but it's been tidied up by Stuart Atwell. 10 minutes to go. And it's out on the left-hand side with Dale Fry. Rav Vandenberg just on as a substitute. You listen to Coventry City 1, Middlesbrough 0 in the Championship, live on Talksport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the app and get rewards points. 18 plus participating restaurants. Delivery fees and terms apply. See mcdonalds.com. Bergsorg for Borough. Into the feet of Conway. Now it's played out to Whittaker. Right-hand corner of the penalty area. Shapes onto his left foot as though he's going to shoot for goal. He does shoot for goal and it hits the post and stays out. Dribbles toward the corner flag. Kept alive by Finn Azaz. Still in play for Middlesbrough. Still with Finn Azaz. Gets to the right-hand corner of the area. Hackney plays it across the face of goal. It's half cleared as far as Bergsorg. Faced up by a wall of sky blue shirts. Can't get the shot away. Gives it back to Hackney. Sends it into the box looking for Iheanacho. Now Illing Jr. gets his foot on the ball. Shot from Force is blocked. Iheanacho trying to get onto the loose ball at the edge of the area, but Sakamoto clears and it's out of play for a throw to Middlesbrough on the left-hand side. 1-0 to Coventry. Let's check back in at Bramall Lane. Alan Biggs.
Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1, and finally a big substitution. Maktar Gay, big in every sense, has come on to lead the line for Blackburn in the closing stages. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1.
Jamie Allen's going to be coming on for Ben Sheaf for Coventry City. Whilst that's happening, let's check back in at a nervous Fratton Park. Alex Crook.
Portsmouth 1, Hull City 1, but another long delay here, Dance, because Hull have got a problem. Their goal scorer Matt Crooks is down with what looks like a head injury. I think he is going to have to be replaced. Remember, a point for Hull keeps them safe. If they concede again, they go down. No surprise that Ruben Sayers, the manager, has brought on extra defensive cover in Alfie Jones. Only one team, I think, trying to win this now. That's Portsmouth. It's Portsmouth 1, Hull 1.
Cheers, Crookie. Well, we'll be checking in, no doubt, with Alex at full time here, because that's where the story may well be as the last game to finish on the final day of the Championship. Burnley are going to win the title as things stand. They're winning against Millwall. Leeds only drawing at Plymouth. Coventry and Bristol City into the playoffs. Luton relegated, but a goal for Portsmouth changes that unbelievably and would dump Hull into the bottom three right at the last. Free kick for Coventry after a kick in the chest of Jack Redoni from Delano Bergzorg, although not deliberate, means that Van Aveyck can get the ball downfield. We've got 7 minutes to go here, and a very nervous looking Michael Carrick, along with Jonathan Woodgate, his trusty assistant, down beneath us. They're going to make another change.
Yeah, they're trying to affect it. You know, they're getting a little bit more joy in that attacking thirds.
Ryan Giles is going to be coming on, the left-sided midfielder.
Yeah, where his delivery as well, his left foot's an absolute wand, isn't it? You know, they've got the attacking players on there. Whittaker, I've got to say, it was a fantastic effort, had a lot to do, wrapped his foot around it, took Wilson by surprise, hit the post, but like you say, picking second balls up, they're over-committing. So Coventry just need to be a little bit composed in possession, and then they've always got that outlet.
They've hit the post twice in this game, Middlesbrough, but it stays 1-0 to Coventry City. Live on your home of the EFL, Talksport 2. Playoffs to come. No other radio station will bring you every single playoff tie. The semi-finals and the 3 showpiece finals on Whitsun Bank Holiday weekend at Wembley Stadium. Coventry want to get there in the Championship final. Redoni bursting into the area. Shot is blocked on its way to goal. And away come Middlesbrough on the counter-attack. It's getting increasingly desperate for the Teessiders. Into the centre circle. Hackney. Neat touch finds Bergzorg. Bergzorg will find Conway down the left-hand side now. Giles waits to come on. Illing Jr. puts a deep cross into the box. It's overhit. It was intended for force, but it's going to drift out of play for a goal kick to Coventry City.
And that's Delano Bergzorg that's following Jack Redoni all the way to get the block in, and then can he go up and affect it in a positive sense, in an attacking sense? Yes, he can. Needs better quality coming from the wide area.
They're ready to celebrate the title at Turf Moor as things stand. Chris Hull.
We're into the 87th minute, just 3 minutes between Burnley and the Football League Championship title. It's Burnley 2, Millwall 1, but Millwall could have had an equaliser. Captain Jake Cooper at the back post headed over, and it should have gone in. Burnley 2, Millwall 1.
And let's quickly get to Ashton Gate as well. Lawrence Moore.
Bristol City 2, Preston 2. Oh, Anis Mehmeti for Bristol City, so close for a third and goal that would have absolutely clinched their playoff places. But as things stand, they're still right on a knife edge. Bristol City 2, Preston 2.
Middlesbrough trying to come forward to release Bergzorg, but it's tidied up by Van Aveyck, the right back, who pushed in field on the cover, got it back to his goalkeeper. Long ball downfield from Ben Wilson, looking for Hadji Wright, but Rav Vandenberg got the better of him, and he's won a throw for Middlesbrough. 5 minutes to go. Let's quickly check in at Pride Park with Jeff Peters.
It's Derby 0, Stoke 0. Handshakes all around. Both sides are going to be safe. Derby very nearly won it late on. They just hit the bar twice. Johansson's made a big save, but both teams staying up. Derby 0, Stoke 0.
Can Blackburn find a late goal at Bramall Lane? Alan Biggs.
Well, they're now throwing everything in at Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1. Emmanuel Dennis, Mac Targate and now Corley Woodrow are on from the bench. 3 minutes plus stoppage to find a goal that could and would at this moment take them into the playoffs. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1.
Yeah, Blackburn on 66, Bristol City 68, Coventry 69. That's the tail of the tape at the moment. Here's Morgan Whittaker pushing in field for Middlesbrough. They need 2 goals desperately now. Lobbed into the area by Azaz. Brought down on the thigh by Marcus Force. Gets the shot away. It's blocked. Whittaker right-hand side of the area. Puts it across the face of goal. Hacks off the line by Bobby Thomas. Right at the last. And now Thomas Asante rides the challenge of Dale Fry. Bursting into the area. Rolls it across for Redoni. That's the playoffs for Coventry Coventry City. That's the 3 points that they so desperately crave. Frank Lampard is mobbed by some of his players who've come over to this near touchline. Job done from Jack. Rodoni at the double makes it Coventry 2, Middlesbrough 0. That's Borough season over, but most definitely not Coventry City's season over.
It's an excellent goal just from back to front. The quality, when you've got that physicality, that speed of Brandon Thomas Asante to get in behind. You know, he's got his head up, he's composed, he knows exactly what he wants to do. Jack Rodoni's breaking his neck to get into that central area. The way to pass was excellent. He's getting pressured as well. I think it was Delano Bergzorg as well that's putting pressure on Jack Rodoni. There's no mistake there. Good connection. Travels gets a touch there in the bottom left hand corner. Outstanding goal. Frank Lampard will be absolutely delighted. Michael Carrick's, he's gambled, he's thrown everything at it, he's overcommitted. You leave things, you leave holes at the back. They've been punished for that.
All over Red Rover for Middlesbrough. Goal at West Brom, Mickey Gray.
Well, we're into 2 minutes before the 90 minutes is over, and it's West Bromwich Albion 5, Luton Town 3. And Milanic Ali has just got his second of the game. Is it too late? Absolutely brilliant finish from the corner of the 18-yard area. Curled it into the top corner. They have to keep knocking on the door. West Bromwich Albion 5, Luton Town 3.
Talksport 2, your home of the EFL, as we reach the closing stages on the final day of the Championship regular season. Coventry City 2-0 up here, and home and hosed, and Middlesbrough's playoff challenge is all but extinguished, but there's still plenty of jeopardy elsewhere. Burnley are going to win the title as things stand. 100 points for them. They're 2-1 up on Millwall. Their playoff challenge, Millwall, has also faded right at the last. Leeds will have to settle for the second automatic spot. They're only drawing at Plymouth at the moment. In order for the playoffs, Sheffield United, Sunderland, Coventry, Bristol City, and that will start on Thursday night on the Talksport app. Bristol City against Sheffield United at Ashton Gate, and Coventry will be back here on Friday night to take on Sunderland. That's on the Talksport network as well as our playoff coverage starts. They're going to make a change. Lati Bogier is going to come on for Sakamoto, and Josh Eccles going to come on as well. Let's check in at Bramall Lane, because if Blackburn score, Bristol City are right in trouble. Alan Biggs.
Well, it's Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1. The big number is 8. That is the number that's just been raised here by the fourth official. There will be 8 minutes of stoppage time. Tyrese Dolan with a power shot, just held by Adam Davis, coming close for Blackburn. Tom Cannon, a big miss for Sheffield United, which keeps Blackburn alive for the playoffs. Going into stoppage time now. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 1.
What's going on down at Fratton Park, Alex Crook?
Well, it's still Portsmouth 1, Hull 1, but the visitors so close to snatching a victory. It's a brilliant save from the Pompey goalkeeper Ben Killip, finger-tipping a downward header from John Egan wide of the post, right in front of those 2,100 travelling fans. They are being put through the ringer. A point keeps Hull up, but if Pompey score in 7 minutes of added time, Hull will be going down. Portsmouth 1, Hull 1.
Substitutions being made, and Bobby Thomas now coming on, or coming off rather, to allow Josh Eccles to come on. And there's a sense of relief around the Coventry Building Society Arena here at 2-0. Chris Wellamo.
Yeah, I'm looking at him concerned on Bobby Thomas. He made a clearance from a Morgan Whittaker attempt, and he cramped up, so I don't know, just hopefully everything's all right there. He's missed a few games, but he's definitely went through the paces today, so yeah, that'll be a concern for Frank Lampard.
So he's on. Noise is up. We're going to have to go elsewhere, really, and go where the story goes. Let's go first to Ashton Gate, Lawrence Mora.
Bristol City 2, Preston 2. Bristol City pressing forward. They know that if there's another goal elsewhere, their playoff chances are toast. So they're still trying to get on the front foot, still trying to make it play. Preston feel reasonably safe at 2-2. They know that even if they do concede, that result at Luton should mean that they will still retain their championship status next season. So now it's all down to Bristol City, and we are in 3 minutes into 6 added on minutes of time at the end of this game. It's Bristol City 2, Preston 2.
Leeds have scored at Home Park. They're going to win the title. They're going to win the title right at the end of it all. Let's get to Chris Hull at Burnley.
Yes, and Josh Brownhill, just as you join me, has scored Burnley's third goal. Right-footed, free kick, 20 yards out. Brownhill's had a sensational season. Burnley are going to sign off with a win, but they're not going to get the title, it looks like. It's Burnley 3, Millwall 1.
Yet Leeds have got that second goal that they so desperately craved at Home Park. Plymouth 1, Leeds 2. Leeds are going to win the title, and Burnley will have to settle for second. Let's get back to Fratton Park. It must be all over the place nerves-wise there. Alex Crook.
Oh, that is an understatement, Dan. Portsmouth 1, Hull 1. We played 3.5 minutes of 7 added time. The ball is deep inside the Hull City half. Pompey have a throw-in. As you join me, Connor Ogilvie in front of the Fratton end has played it short. And that will be a relief for Ruben Sayers, the Hull manager, and those 2,000 travelling supporters. Hull so close now to sealing their relegation great escape with a point. It is Pompey 1, Hull 1.
And Blackburn so close. If only they can score in South Yorkshire. Alan Biggs.
Yeah, 4 minutes of stoppage remaining. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. Rovers have just had a corner right in front of their supporters. Desperate scramble in the box. It was cleared, but it is simple. It looks simple, as relatively simple as it could be today. If they score, they're going to be in the playoffs, and they're attacking as I speak, forcing Sheffield United back, but they've only got 4 minutes or so to do it. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn 1.
Full time at Pride Park, 2 teams safe there. Jeff Peters.
Yeah, a goalless stalemate between Derby and Stoke. Celebrations and handshakes all round. Once Luton were getting battered, all the jeopardy here disappeared. Derby 0, Stoke 0.
Well, here at the Coventry Building Society Arena, Michael Carrick down beneath the arms folded, knowing that the die is cast and it's going to be another season in the Championship for Middlesbrough. Coventry are going through to the playoffs in either 5th or 6th spot, but we need to find out whether Hull City can stave off Portsmouth and stave off relegation. Down to Fratton Park we go on Talksport 2 for Alex Crook to pick up commentary.
They are 2 minutes from Championship survival, 2 minutes of added time remaining. Portsmouth 1, Hull City 1, but I tell you what, those travelling fans could barely watch a few moments ago. The ball looped into the penalty area. Connor Ogilvie up from the back with a header. It was almost in slow motion as it goes over the goalkeeper onto the roof of the net. 90 seconds to go. Hull look pretty comfortable at half-time. Matt Crooks from point-blank range from a corner put them in front on 18 minutes. A victory would definitely have kept them up. A draw enough because Luton are being well beaten at West Brom, but it's been a nervy second half. Christian Sadie off the bench to equalise 10 minutes after the restart. A rasping right foot finish from a tight angle, and it's Pompey in possession as we move into the last 70 seconds of added time. Josh Murphy with a deep ball into the area, but it's plucked from the sky by Ivor Pandor, the Hull City goalkeeper. He collapses on top of the ball. The away fans, all 2,100 of them, celebrate. This is nerve-jangling stuff in the sunshine on the south coast. Ruben Sayers is literally hopping up and down on the touchline. It's so nearly mission accomplished for him, taking over in December with a clear mission to keep Hull in the Championship. He is 30 seconds away from doing that, but it's going to be a Pompey throw-in, I think, over on the right-hand side, midway inside the Hull half. So it's last chance saloon territory for Pompey to end their season with a victory, having sealed safety with 2 games to spare. Welcome to listeners from Talksport. Hull City 15 seconds from survival, but it's Portsmouth who are going to launch one final attack. But there is the full-time whistle. The Hull City fans celebrate. It's a last day relegation great escape. Luton's defeat at West Bromwich Albion meant Hull needed only a point here at Fratton Park. They were 1-0 up after 18 minutes. Matt Crooks with a finishing touch from inside the 6-yard box after João Pedro had flicked on a corner. Pompey equalised 10 minutes into the second half. A really good finish from Christian Sadie, and it was so nervy After that, the whole goalkeeper, Ivor Pandor, collapses on his back inside the 6-yard box in front of the fratted end away to our left. Ruben Sayers, the Hull manager, who ultimately has kept them up, celebrates with his coaching staff, and 2,100 Hull fans are jubilant. It finishes here. Portsmouth 1, Hull City 1.
So Hull City survive, and Luton Town are going to be relegated. We'll get to the Hawthorns in a bit, where Mickey Gray and Faye Carruthers are for Talksport 2. Still playing here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Coventry nearly had a third after a mad scramble in the Middlesbrough box, and Finn Azaz has a shot blocked wide, and there goes the full-time whistle, and Coventry City have secured their playoff place, and Middlesbrough sink to their knees knowing that their playoff challenge has come up short ultimately. Frank Lampard took over in mid-November when Coventry were in the wrong half of the table, but he's guided them into the post-season affair. Jack Rudoni, man of the match, scored both goals this afternoon for Coventry City. They deserve their spot in the playoffs based on their second half of the season form. Chris Awellamo, your thoughts on a 2-0 victory for the Sky Blues?
It was an absolute outstanding performance from start to finish. I have to say, from Coventry, they managed the game, they got their goal, they were brave in possession, they were winning second balls, as I said at half time, done the basics very, very well, but on top of that had the quality. They had, and then second half they managed the game. They had to defend well. They made sure they got, it was a defensive contact every time it came into the box first, but then off the back of that, in that transition, they used the ball well. They had that outlet, they had that quality in the wide areas. Haji Wright was excellent. Sakamoto was outstanding. Even Ellis Sims done his job. Everyone ticked the box today. He'll be delighted, Frank Lampard.
Just let me check. Are they still playing at Bramall Lane? Alan Biggs?
Full time, Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. Blackburn gave it everything, couldn't give it quite enough, and they're not going to be in the playoffs, but they're being applauded by their supporters around the ground here, particularly behind one goal, and one goal wasn't enough from Yuki Ohashi. The equaliser coming from Anel Ahmed-Hodzic, but the big chance, Emmanuel Dennis had a chance from a corner, a free header at the near post, which he put wide during the 8 minutes of stoppage time. It finishes with Blackburn just outside the playoffs, despite a 6-match unbeaten run at the end of the season. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 1.
And as we hand back to Faye Carruthers at the Hawthorns, handshakes around the CBS Arena. There will soon be a lap of honour, but the season is not done for Coventry City. They've got another playoff tilt to have a go at, like they did 2 years ago, after a full-time score here of Coventry City 2, Middlesbrough 0.